against teams from the state of California.
And the Aztecs prepare to head to Pullman. Breaking it all down from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim. There's a ton to react to, and we will. Annie Heilbrunn's on the show at 5 p.m. She'll be down at Petco Park. Jeff Arnold, Orioles radio voice, will join us at 3 p.m. We'll talk some Aztecs football and basketball as well. Obviously, what has transpired over the last 24 hours is significant, and there might be more. If you missed Kevin Acee with Fletch Zone, you'll hear what he said, but he referenced the possibility, didn't say the inevitability, but the possibility of Fernando Tatis Jr. to the IL dealing with a hamstring. But
great.
The one thing that they could not afford to happen, I think we even had it in a rap question last week, like, would you prefer to be the 6th seed healthy or the 2 seed unhealthy, is now playing out in real time. Bogarts, Toddy, King, Merrill, and now the Jason Adams thing was just a freak injury. It's a part of professional or college or amateur sports. These things just happen, and there's nothing you can really do to dodge it. And now they didn't dodge it. And like, what are the ramifications? I said last week, I'm not saying Bogarts out is the domino that pushes them all over and you can't win. But now it's Jason Adams. And I'm not saying it's the domino that pushes them all over and you can't win. But you can't keep taking on water like this. I know that. And to couple it, Jim, they're not playing good baseball. That doesn't necessarily have to do with Jason Adams or Xander Bogaerts, but they're not playing well. They're 2-6 in their last 8 games, and it's put up, shut up time, and we'll see where they go from here. Dealing with injuries, not playing good baseball, and 24 games to play in the regular season.
Oh, and you didn't even mention the status of Michael King still up in the air.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly right.
Just another thing that this Padres team can't afford to have happen is Michael King not returning, or at least returning and not looking like Michael King, right? Because that to me is going to determine a lot with this team going forward and their postseason run. It will depend on the health of Michael King, but they have done a pretty good job all year long avoiding the oh my God major injury bug. They've had, Michael King has missed a couple months, but he was very adamant, like, I'm returning.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what he looks like when he returns, but he's like, I'm returning. There's no question in my mind. Same thing with you, Darvish. Missed all those months, but he's returned. Now he has not looked like you, Darvish, but at least he's out there. Got some nicks and bruises here and there, right? Tatis, we'll see what happens with him. Xander Bogaerts kind of was the first like big domino to fall as far as like major injuries to one of your key players. Now he does say that he's going to return before the season ends. So we'll see about that. He has to be a pretty quick healer, in my opinion, to return from a broken foot in 3 weeks. Jackson Merrill has been in and out of the lineup with random fluky injuries here and there. Expected to be back in the lineup today. Activated yesterday, but not used. But the Jason Adams quad injury yesterday was the first. Yeah, he's not returning. Like, there's no hope. He is done for the year. It's clear as day. The quad tear confirmed post game. Like, he's going to be missed, obviously the rest of this season and potentially into next season as well. And it wasn't just, it was the Padres lost a player to a season-ending injury. They lost a extremely key player to see a season-ending injury. And that's what hurts the most, is how important Jason Adams is to this roster. This bullpen was the strength of this team. And yes, they're still a good bullpen, but they're not as good as they were yesterday before the injury.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue among the injuries that they're dealing with, it's among the more significant. You kind of hate to rank injuries. Obviously, Michael King is so damn important to this team. I mean, the rotation's a complete mess. But you're watching a Padres team where they go 1-3 in the last 4 games or 2-6 in the last 8.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to win games like they're already in the postseason, and they're losing these games. They're bunting guys over. They're trying to use their bullpen for 5+ innings. That's not working. And now the formula of having these 5 top relievers and winning the postseason was you can cover so many outs in a postseason game because you have someone like Jason Adams. Now, you still have great pieces, whether it's the Morahones, the Estradas, the David Morgans, right? You have the pieces, but you don't have as many pieces. And if the formula was, 4 and dive from guys like Dylan Cease or Yu Darvish, I'm telling you, that if it's not working against the Baltimore Orioles, it's not working against the LA Dodgers. It's a really tough formula to execute. I said at the day of the deadline, man, everyone thinks they have the super pen. They're not going to allow runs. It's not realistic. They have allowed runs. They've been good, but not perfect. And now you almost have to be like perfect with your bullpen from this point forward without Jason Adam. I don't even think it was realistic with Jason Adam. So it's just such a significant loss. The loss yesterday you can live with. If they're healthy and you lose to the Orioles, who cares? They're going to the postseason. Yes, you want to win this division.
Would feel great, though.
But it's nowhere near. It doesn't matter like Jason Adam matters. It doesn't matter like Fernando Tatis Jr., Michael King matters. You want to play better baseball, but it's the injuries that are so damning this time of year.
Xander Bogaerts, Jason Adam, Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis Jr., Michael King. That you can't overcome that. I'm sorry. I wish I could like say absolutely you could overcome it, but you're at a point of your season where you need to be getting healthier, not the opposite direction of that.
Yep.
Like you need to get your healthiest right now heading into the postseason rather than, oh no, we're losing a bunch of guys with 3 weeks remaining. So look, I want to say and be positive. Like, okay, you know what? They could figure this out with Jason Adam. I'm just talking specifically the bullpen issues, not issues, but just the bullpen now without Jason Adam. Like, oh yeah, they're fine. They're gonna. I don't want to downplay the significance of how good Jason Adam has been this year by saying that the bullpen is just going to be fine and guys will step up. That's a discredit to Jason Adams' season and how good it's been. Yeah. I'm not going to say that because Jason Adam has been phenomenal this year. You could argue he's been one of the best relievers in baseball and maybe the best reliever in baseball. If you want to look at certain numbers, he's been fantastic. So I don't want to downplay this injury. Like, oh, you know what? They still have this guy. They still have this guy. And no, the loss of Jason Adam, that's going to rear its ugly head and that's going to hurt.
Because of their starting pitching. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Their bullpen is susceptible, yes, because of injury, but more so, and Brent, we have this from Mike Shildt, more so because the starting pitching has been a complete and utter mess. It's not just Michael King's injury. It's Dylan Cease not looking anything like the pitcher he was a year ago. It's Yu Darvish up and down. It's Nestor Cortez more down than up. Listen to Mike Shildt. Actual brutal honesty
from Shildt.
Like he actually shared something of value yesterday.
Wow.
Talking about starting pitching after the Padres lost to the Orioles 4-3.
You've spoken a lot about how you need to maybe get a little more out of your starters at this point. Like, how much of a concern is this, in particular with Dylan, giving up runs and throwing a lot of pitches and not being able to get as deep as you'd like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's not. It's clearly a concern. We have a deep bullpen. It's a talented bullpen, but the way the game's built. And I know it's morphing into shortening the game, but over 162 games, starters are going to have to carry a lion's share of the innings, and we just haven't been able to get that consistently, which is affecting. We had a bullpen game yesterday. We got 8 innings out of our starters. Last series, 12. The series before that. But we are capable when we do that, and it's not from my seat, it's not a lack of confidence in Dylan, or we do know we have some guys that we're going to have to continue to bring along, with Darvish, but he's looking better and he's going to have to get going and continue to get going, and Cortez in a similar bucket, and then of course Nick's been solid, and Michael is around the corner, but I don't know what the depth of Michael looks like or what he's going to be able to give us our win. But, like I said, we'll figure it out. I'm confident of that.
Some brutal honesty from Mike Shildt there, something that we're not used to hearing and fans aren't used to hearing. But the things that he said there was completely true about the starting rotation. It is a concern. Clearly, it is a concern. You're not getting the length that you need to get out of your starters. Dylan Cease has been an absolute disappointment this entire year. He's had some good moments, but overall, like, he's probably cost himself a lot of money this offseason, to be honest with you.
It'll be interesting to see.
And then everybody else in your rotation is blah. I mean, Yu Darvish, He even talked about Darvish there. I was like, I mean, we hope he can be better. Like, we hope he can get back.
Yep.
And then he's mentioned Michael King, and you're like, excuse me, what did you say? Because he's like, yeah, I don't know when. Like, when?
I thought it was this week.
I thought it was supposed to be like
the Baltimore series.
Like Wednesday. So this thing right now, I know the division is still in play. I know the 4 seeds in play. But man, I think just getting healthy and getting in the postseason, whatever seed you are, kind of feels like the goal right now, right?
Just getting in?
No, just getting in healthy.
Yeah, but you can't. So you can't.
I know you can't get in healthy because you already
this
lost one of your best relievers, so you'll not be healthy again this season.
And it's a weird goal because you can't control it.
Right.
So like if your goal is to get there healthy, well, unfortunately you can't. And if that's the only goal, that's why it's a fine line. You still want to secure the best seed, because this is the other thing. What are you supposed to do for 24 games? Sit guys and just be cautious? What does that even mean? Guys can still get hit on hands. Guys can still blow out arms. So you can't really treat it any other way than you've treated the first 138 games of the year. You got to go for it. I mean, listen, what they're going to do with Tatis might be telling. They might say, listen, put him on the IL, get him healthy. We need him down the road.
Like, do we push it here or do we get the guy healthy?
That'll be interesting. But at the end of the day, it's like, you can't control if Jackson Merrill's going to have another hamstring issue. You can't control if Xander Bogaerts has a broken bone. You can't control a Jason Adam quad.
Yeah, those are all fluky
injuries. Are all injuries that have popped up here just completely out of like happenstance and randomness. Mm-hmm. So, and also, are you going to feel great? Are you going to feel great if they completely stumble in? Yeah, sure, they get Merrill back, and sure, they get Toddy back, and sure, they get King back. But, they close like 11-13 against these bad teams. They wrap up the 5 or 6. I mean, it all matters. Like, their health matters. Their play matters. The seeding matters. And I really don't know where you really turn right now. Like, I don't know what we're waiting for. Are we waiting for them to look like the 14-3 team from 2 weeks ago? Are we waiting for them to get healthy? Waiting for the Dodgers to slip up? What are we waiting for? I don't even know. Postseason?
Yeah.
It's just a weird time.
It is a weird time because they have these injuries, and you kind of wish that they had more time to get healthier. But like, you are where you are.
Yep.
You're in September. You got 3 weeks here. You got 24 games remaining. 24 games. You would need to get 17 more wins in your next 24 games to reach 93 wins, which we're kind of looking at as a mark to go after if you want to have a chance to win the division. But even then, you'd have to play the best month of baseball you've played all year long. And with all these injuries now piling up, is that realistic to think they can do? Over the next 2 weeks against the teams that they're playing, I know this is going to be hard to say after they've gone 1-3 in their easiest, quote unquote, easiest stretch of their season. But right. I do feel like over the next 15, they'll find a way to keep their head above water and to win some games.
I agree.
And not completely fall flat on their face. But it's not that it's not that encouraging to think that, oh, you know what? They can win the division now and they can get the 4 seed. Like, for me, I'm looking at the health of this team first and foremost. And can they stay healthy? Can they get healthy? And can guys that are being paid a lot of money, Manny freaking Machado, start performing?
Yeah. And again, if the health was controllable, I agree with you. I just don't know if it'll happen or not. All right. More on the starting pitching issues on the other side. Plus, we'll hear from Jason Adam on his injury and Mike Shildt with a really almost insane answer on a usage yesterday in the 9th inning. We're just underway. We're here until 6 p.m. A lot to react to. It's Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Aztec receiver Jacob Bostic, first career touchdown grab in that 42-0 win. They're getting ready for Washington State. He'll join us in about 10 or 12 minutes. I want to react to two pieces of sound. First, you have the Kevin sound that was just sent to you, Brett. All right, this is Kevin Acee on Fletch Zone on the status of Fernando Tatis Jr. Listen to this back and forth, the latest on Fernando Tatis Jr.
His hamstring hurt him a little bit. Now, they legit didn't think it was like a thing that was going to keep him out, right? He's in the lineup, right? Like Shildt said he's okay. Tatis said he's okay. Of course, players always say they're okay. And then he's in the lineup, and then he's taken out. So I think that's a good sign, but, stay tuned.
So you mean possible IL visit, or is that what you're thinking for Tatis?
Sure. I mean, could be. I'm just not. That's all. I'm not going to sit here on this right now and tell you that he's fine. I'm not. Like, I don't know. There is going to be concern when you scratch a guy from a lineup and then you have a prime opportunity to pinch hit him in the ninth inning and he's not available. That just is something that should probably raise at least some yellow flags, if not red flags.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that in yesterday's game. I thought it was between Wagner and Merrill. I didn't even think Tatis would have been an option.
Okay, so comment further on that after we hear from, this is where Shildt gives the answer on why Merrill pinch ran in a game where he could have pinch hit him, but he used Will Wagner. This is in the ninth inning of a one-run game. Listen to this.
Jackson's availability, because obviously he pinch ran with the ankle. Why not have him hit there? I'm assuming Aiken splits is why you want to play.
Aiken's reversey, and Wagner's just taking, really professional with bats, and Jackson was available.
Is there anything like the fact that Jackson hasn't been in a game in a while to put him in that situation?
That's my point. Yeah. He has not taken it at bat, and Wagner's taking great at bats and talking with the guys. We felt like Wagner was, Aiken's a reverse guy. So took a shot with Wagner, and Jackson will be there tomorrow.
Just the whole move in the ninth inning made literally no sense. It makes even less sense hearing Mike Shildt talk about it post game.
Agreed, but I think now that I put it together, Mike Shildt is trying to justify not necessarily Wagner over Merrill, although that's part of it. I think he's also saying we liked Wagner over Fernando Tatis Jr. The reason I say it is he's saying the pitcher on the mound, Aiken, had reverse splits. He's a left-handed pitcher. He's saying left-handed batters have been better than right-handed batters. Now, both Wagner and Merrill are lefties, so it shouldn't be a conversation about reverse splits between Wagner and Merrill. The reverse splits conversation goes down to Wagner or potentially Tatis. There's no world where Wagner's ever batting over Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't care if it's a lefty, righty, ambidextrous, sea animal. There's no world where that should ever happen. Now, I get it if Tatis, why didn't he just say Tatis was fully, I don't know if he was explaining Tatis Wagner.
Shilt's a weirdo. He never says anything that makes any sense.
Or like, was Tatis available and he was justifying going with Wagner over Tatis? Or was he saying, hey, we liked Wagner over Merrill because Merrill hasn't taken live BP, but Merrill's playing today, one day later.
As you said, John, in no world are you ever, and I mean ever, hitting Will Wagner over either Fernando Tatis Jr. or Jackson Merrill.
Right.
There's no world. I don't care about splitsies. I don't care about left-right matchup. There's not a universe out there where you're batting Wagner over Tatis and Merrill. And if Merrill can go out there and run, he should be able to hit. I'd rather have him get a live at bat in the ninth inning to be ready to go for today. Because if your argument was you didn't want to throw Jackson Merrill in a tough spot in a late game situation, then why'd you give him $150 million? He's supposed to be in late game situations. You want him in late game situations. And if your excuse is because he hasn't faced live pitching yet in a real game setting, then why are you playing him today then?
Yeah, like what's happened between yesterday and today?
I thought the explanation was complete BS from Mike Shildt, and I thought it was once again a bad move that Shildt has made over he's made a bunch of bad moves over the last, I want to say, 2 or 3 weeks. He is on a complete cold stretch right now as far as the moves he makes.
Here's the other thing. Will Wagner grounded into a double play if not for a throw.
Correct.
So, like, this would have looked even worse. Will Wagner grounded into an absolute tailor-made 4-6-3 double play. We'll get back to it over the course of the next couple of hours. Again, Padres and Orioles game 2. Jeff Arnold will join us coming up at 3 p.m. Radio voice of the Baltimore Orioles. On the other side, we're going to switch gears. San Diego State receiver Jacob Bostic transferred in from Texas A&M, catches his first touchdown of his career in that victory over Stony Brook. The Aztecs are getting ready for Washington State Saturday night in Pullman. He'll join us next on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. Padres last night or yesterday afternoon lost to the Orioles 4-3. They've lost 6 of 8, and it's gotten even worse as Jason Adam, their all-star reliever, tore his quad on the mound yesterday. He is out for the rest of the season. Game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. And Sunday night, SDFC picked up their 7th straight road win, beating LAFC up in LA 2-1. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you'll find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
All right, San Diego State coming off that big win over Stony Brook, getting ready for Washington State on the Palouse Saturday night, a game you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760, home of the Aztecs. We mentioned a few moments ago that Aztec receiver Jacob Bostic was going to join us, coming off his really good game against Stony Brook on Thursday night at Snapdragon Stadium. 3 catches, 53 yards, his first career touchdown as well. And Jacob, first of all, congratulations on the win, and thanks for hopping on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me.
So I feel as if you have a pretty unique journey and story for our listeners that may not be aware, but I want to go all the way back to your relationship with Sean Lewis, because out of high school in Illinois, one of your first offers was from Kent State, right? When he was coaching there. Can you take us through the evolution of, like, so you've known Sean for a number of years. Tell us about that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So out of high school, I graduated high school in 2022. And so I was getting recruited during those crazy COVID times in 2020 and 2021. And so my dad is actually a Kent State alum. My dad was a captain at Kent State, and he also played with some of the greats like Josh Cribbs and James Harrison. And so Coach Barton, I think, was the first to reach out from Kent State. It was a really big deal for us. And so I remember getting the first call, and I was like, yo, Dad, like, you know, I think it's Kent State, you know. And shortly after, a few weeks after, I received the offer. And so I've actually been able to stay in touch with them guys. Ended up going to Iowa out of high school, but yeah, man, that Kent State offer, that was definitely meaningful and big time for me for sure.
And your journey to come to San Diego State, obviously you mentioned the 1 year at Iowa and you had 1 year at Texas A&M. What's the journey been like to get here to San Diego State with Sean Lewis?
Yeah, no doubt. So it was actually 2 years at the University of Iowa, and then I transferred to Texas A&M. But yeah, to focus on Iowa real quick. So get to Iowa, had a strong fall camp, ended up re-injuring a former injury. So kind of was dealing with that the first year. Second year also dealt with the injury. And so those first 2 years were pretty tough, you know what I mean? And especially for a kid, you know, that hadn't had a chance really, you know. And so you go through the whole thing of, you know, you go to high school, you do well, and all of a sudden, like, you're a small fish in a big pond. And so it was definitely different. But nonetheless, got an opportunity to transfer, went to Texas A&M, had a really cool experience there, was healthy for the first time. And so really, really grateful to be out in the field this past Thursday. Obviously, like I said, I feel like I have a unique perspective, a little bit different than other people. Just so grateful and thankful for Jesus to give me the chance to play this game that I love.
Jacob Bostic with us right now, Aztec junior receiver. Again, 3 catches, 53 yards, and his first career touchdown from Jaden Denigal on Thursday night against Stony Brook. So let's talk about this offense that, you know, Sean Lewis has been running for years, some of the most efficient offenses in the country. What is it about this offense that suits you so well, and what do you enjoy most about being a part of it?
Absolutely, man. I think besides the offense, just start about the people. I love the people, and I think the teammates, and I mentioned it in my interview form yesterday, but I just think, like, they welcome me in with open arms, coaches, players. And so to line up with my brothers each and every game is something really special. But yeah, the offense is awesome, man. I think our ability to go up tempo and quick and fast gives us an advantage, and, you know, we're really excited for the season to keep going.
All right, let's talk about your first career touchdown catch. You were wide open there in the end zone. Was there any part of you in that moment that was like, dude, I can't drop this? Because, I mean, you made a nice move and cut there, and he laid the ball out there just a little high. You made a nice catch. What was that moment like for you?
For sure, man. That was definitely a full circle moment, something I had been praying for a long time. Just like you said, made that move, came up the seam, thankful for Jaden to find me up the seam. And so, like I said, yeah, when the ball was in the air, I was just pretty excited and glad I could make the play for the team.
How do you describe like what you're able to do out there, right? Because you can play inside, you can play outside. Like, what is it about your skill set you think that works, and it's going to work here at San Diego State?
Yep. So I come from a pretty strong track background. My dad ran one of the biggest track programs in Illinois, and so we were the Flippin' Flyers, and we went to the Junior Olympics each and every year. And so I just think my track background and just my ability to have that quick, fast twitchiness and that back end speed, I think, is what sets me apart. But yeah, I would say those two things for sure.
Who's the fastest player on the team?
Oh man, that's a good one. It's funny. My roommate is Bert Emanuel Jr.
Okay.
So we were talking today about if we had a 4x1 team, who would be starting, who would be anchoring. So that would definitely be a good question. I'm not too sure though. We'll have to see.
What's the relationship been like with you and Jaden Denical so far early in the season?
Yeah, it's been great. It's definitely been great, man. Obviously, dealt with injury when I first got here, and so being up tempo and kind of getting things rolling and getting as many reps as we can has been really, really beneficial for the both of us. Yeah, man, he's a great dude, great guy off the field, and so I'm excited to go to war with him each and every weekend. So
you have been, as a college player, correct me if I'm wrong, at some of the best environments in the sport, right? I mean, you played at Texas A&M, you played in the Big Ten. I mean, you've played everywhere. So you're going to the road this weekend. That's always a challenge. It's at night, right? Martin Stadium, Pullman, Washington. Their crowd has always been an advantage. What does it take as a team in some of those environments? And what do you enjoy most about being put in a situation like that?
For sure, man. I feel like I wouldn't have it any other way. I love under the lights at night, big environment, big fan base. I don't think anybody on our team shies away from those moments like that. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I feel like you live for those moments. And so the more eyes on you, the better you play. And so I think if we go out there and execute and just control, we can control at the end of the day, not try to do too much, just execute with violence each and every play. I think we'll be all right.
Most fans might look at a 42-0 victory and go, everything was great, but I'm sure there are things that you guys are looking at on film that you want to improve on. What are some of the things that you are hoping to improve on this week leading up to Washington State?
Yeah, things to improve on. I would definitely say just being able to finish the game strong. I think there was a time a little bit in Stony Brook where I feel like sometimes got a little bit loose on the sideline. And so when Coach Lewis brought us together and really helped us refocus there, I think it was really beneficial for all of us. And so really just staying on each other and continually just finishing, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, game's not over until the clock hits 0. And so I think that's something that we're really, really trying to put an emphasis on this week, each and every day at practice, giving everything we got, and just being ready to go for Saturday.
Jacob, congratulations, man. A great start to the year. We're looking forward to Saturday night, 7:15 on the Palouse. Pregame coverage at 5:15. You can hear the game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Congrats on a great start in an Aztec uniform. We appreciate you taking time for us, and we'll see you this weekend, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Thank you, Mr. Russell. Have a good one.
How about that? That's a first. That is a first.
Wow, look at that.
Someone mark that.
Mr. Schaefer and Mr. Russell.
How about that?
That's my new favorite player of all time right there.
All right, we'll do that weekly.
Thank you, Jacob.
We'll do that weekly.
Thank you, Mr. Bostic.
How about that?
Wow.
Talk about being prepared.
I was fully ready for him to say, thank you, Mr. Schaefer. Have a great day.
That would have been better. I was hoping for that. The fact that he knew who you were or that you're a person is really bothersome.
I know. I'm acknowledged. That's.
What does that feel like?
Wow. It feels amazing. It's different. It's new. It's exciting.
I'll tell you what. And Brent's hopping on here. What do you got?
I think he acknowledged you because I mentioned you before we went on. Because he's like, I'm calling in for Mr. Schaefer. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, you'll be on with Jon and Jim when we come back. And he's like,
and
okay.
Did he ask what Jim's last name is?
No.
But he happened to know it?
Apparently, maybe he asked somebody. But yeah, when he called, he asked for Mr. Schaefer.
Well, it's impressive he's done the deep dive on the show.
Or maybe he was just told by Jamie.
but that is still to do it on the fly like that. Maybe. I'm impressed.
Let me look these guys up real quick.
I'm impressed by him. Jacob Bostic again, first career touchdown for San Diego State against Stony Brook. He'll be on the field again Saturday night against Washington State. We're going to hear from Jason Adam. We'll turn our attention back to the Padres on the other side. Jason Adam on his season-ending injury. Plus, Jeff Arnold, radio voice of the Orioles, will join us at 3 p.m. Annie Heilbrunn will join us coming up at 5 p.m. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, no dull moments. By the way, download the all-new iHeartRadio app and search for San Diego Sports 760 or Jon and Jim. You can listen to the show live or listen back to any hour or interview from Mr. Schaefer and Mr. Russell.
The new name of the show.
I love that. Jeff Arnold, he's probably been doing radio for the Orioles for the last 5 years. He's going to join us coming up at 3 p.m. Friend of mine through minor league baseball. He's calling Orioles games. I work with Jim.
You know, like everybody in the Orioles organization.
I know like everyone that calls baseball games.
Correct.
Everyone made it to the majors.
Except for you.
And I work with you.
Yeah, that's a problem for you.
But I'm not complaining. I mean, I am kind of complaining.
I think you're a little
bit.
embarrassed because, I mean, every guest that we've had on the show.
If I was embarrassed, I wouldn't invite them on.
That's true. But people think for some reason that I sound like you, which I feel like I don't.
Well, you're saying when we have Aztecs on, I'm embarrassed?
No. I'm saying there's sometimes we have guests on and they don't even realize that I exist. And they think that every question is being asked by one singular person, which is you, because you failed to tell them that you have a co-host.
No, that's not. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Like when I just said to Jeff today, for example.
You want to join me today?
Jeff. Can you do a phone interview with us? 2:33, 4:30, 5:30 to discuss the series. You know, like, is that cool? Like, he's been with us before. Do I really need to? Hey, Jim Russell, he's a
no
guy.
No, I'm a person. I'm a human being that has feelings.
I know you do. Anyway, Jeff's going to join us coming up at 3 p.m. We'll talk about obviously this Orioles-Padres trade that just played out, and last night, obviously between the Padres and the Orioles as well.
Did the Orioles win the trade by winning last night?
I mean, they may have. They won in sheer numbers. They acquired like every Padres farmhand in that trade.
That is true. Yeah.
I don't know if any are in the major leagues. Are any?
My guess is no.
It was 6 players, but I'd be surprised too.
Yeah.
I don't even know who's in that trade. Name one of the 6.
There was a nice pitcher.
Nice pitcher. Hey, what do you think of the return? I don't even know. We'll look. Okay, Jason Adam gets hurt. Unfortunately, I mean, just such a brutal blow. You never want to see someone get hurt, and then to find out it's season ending. So he spoke about it to his credit post-game. He sat down for a couple of minutes, discussed the injury. This starts with a question. This is Jason Adam post-game.
I heard you knew right away.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of tell us about what your thoughts were at the time?
Yeah, I mean, felt the pop right away. Felt the kind of, felt like the quad kind of rolled up. So I kind of knew it wasn't good. Yeah, it was pain at first, and then, then you kind of come to and you're like, hey, did we get the out? And then it's just waiting to hear, how long.
What do you understand about this?
I think it's a ruptured quad tendon. So, obviously still have to get MRI to fully confirm, but that sounds like 6 to 9 months. So season's probably done. But
all that you've done, and I know that it's very, very early. Is there any way for you to even process this at the moment?
No, I told AJ I'm really glad he went out and got Mason. So that's all I've really processed. This bullpen's so deep. Of all the bullpens in the league, to not need me, it's this one. So I'm excited to cheer those guys on. It's a family out there, so I'm excited.
How hard for you to do this, not to be really part of that postseason run?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. The recovery is what it is. You can take that day by day, but just knowing this group in here, the mental toughness they have, the skill, you just know there's everything in this clubhouse to win the World Series. So you want to be a part of that, but I can still play, I think, a small part in that, and just showing up every day for the boys. But yeah, that's the hardest part.
Your teammates seem heartbroken for you. How do you expect them to respond going forward?
I love those guys. It's a family in here, so they all came in and showed me love. But yeah, really, really thankful.
Did it pop on your football? Did you just slip?
No, I went to plant to go back and grab the ball because it was kind of a chopper right to my right, and that's when I felt the pop, and it kind of gave out, and I fell.
By the way, thank you to friend and former colleague Marty Caswell, who posted that. It's on our YouTube page. If you want more from Marty inside the clubhouse, find Marty Caswell's YouTube page. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Marty. You feel awful for Jason Adam. Just awful.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
The best season of his career by far. He's an all-star. He's a huge piece of this team. And I got to be honest with you. So I had the game on yesterday, and I was looking down when the injury occurred.
Okay.
I initially thought the ball hit him on his knee.
Yeah, it makes sense based on what happened.
Because the ball ricocheted to the side, and it was a dribbler. And I thought that he got hit. And then seeing the replay, I go, oh no, it's a non-contact. And then when you see the close-up replay where he says to the trainer,
I felt it pop. Yeah.
And you're like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, you knew in real time the season was over. I didn't need the confirmation from Shildt or Jason. You just, like you said, non-contact injury. Where you're down like that.
Those are the worst.
It's the absolute worst and completely unpredictable. And now, I mean, you just think about it from like Jason Adams' perspective. I mean, you're talking about, let's be honest, I mean, you're talking about the middle point of next year would be my guess. And do you look anything like you looked previously? It's a massive injury. Ruptured quad injury.
6 to 9 months.
I mean, they're never going to be on like the quick side of things. They're always going to slow play something like that. So, and they don't need him April 12th, you know, so you're already thinking, you know, May, June, July, can you get him back out there healthy? That's what I thought immediately when I heard the timeline.
Yeah, it's a freak injury. This had nothing to do with his usage this year.
No.
And the positive, if you want to take a positive for Jason Adams, is it has nothing to do with your arm.
True.
You know,
yeah,
that would have been, I feel like, even worse. All of a sudden the UCL pops, and now he's got to get Tommy John. Yep. Now he's gone for a year.
Right.
The quad injury, he'll make it back next season. He'll be back with the team. He just won't be probably back right away.
Correct.
So you can look at it both ways. Mm-hmm. Like the obviously worst possible situation happened, which is out for the remainder of the season. But for him personally, it has nothing to do with his arm or his shoulder or his elbow, right? So with that, maybe he's thinking to himself, it's not the worst thing in the world because I can return from this and my arm will be fine and it will give me some rest that I probably desperately need. But at the same time, I mean, he's such a huge piece to this team's puzzle going to the postseason. And now he's gone. It just makes things that much more difficult. And the margin for error is getting thinner and thinner by the day.
Although fair point on Mason Miller, because you spent the first 4 months of the season without Mason Miller. And you had 4 top high leverage relievers. You still have 4 top high leverage relievers. You just don't have, maybe a 5 with David Morgan. Like you've had guys have success outside of that top 5. So I still feel as if, like you said earlier, it's not to downplay Jason Adams, but it is to upsell what else they have in their bullpen. I do think they have enough in their bullpen, contingent on their starting pitching. But I do think they have enough in their bullpen, contingent on their starting pitching, to have success with the relievers they have in their bullpen. I do believe that. I think with the Millers, Estradas, Morejon, Suarez's, and throw David Morgan in there, I think you can hold leads.
Oh, David Morgan.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Well, he now has his role has now been elevated.
Yeah, but you're kind of
Jason Adams.
5th. You know, you're still not asking him to pitch 8th innings.
No, you're not.
You know, by and large. I think, and again, you shouldn't have been relying on 5 relievers to win you every postseason game. Bad formula, trust me. You should be relying on getting some length somewhere from starting pitching, putting your bullpen in a better spot to win games. I think 4 relievers can still get it done, but they got to be healthy. They got to be pitching to their fullest at that time of year. It's far from a guarantee.
You know, what you said, watch out for. I'm actually kind of thinking that we might be closer and closer to it happening. The talk of, well, you know, Joe Musgrove.
Joe Musgrove can give you an inning or 2.
Well, I mean, the pitching, that's an issue. Joe's there.
They said before the Adam injury, I read something from Kevin where he sounded almost like defeated. Like, I'm going to plan to get back, but understand that it's very likely that it's not going to happen. But I'd still say never with Joe Musgrove. Like, he'll do everything in his power to get out there to impact his team in some way.
It won't happen.
It probably won't happen.
It won't happen.
It probably won't happen.
My mind is more focused on the health of Michael King than anything Joe's doing right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Like Joe, as far as my concern with him and where, you know, like that's pushed off till next season. Right now, the most important thing with this team is the health of Michael King and what's going on with Tatis. And there's just ants. There's just a lot of ants everywhere, dude.
Right.
Because these aren't just like minor pieces to your club. These are major pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It would help if they start winning some baseball games, because what cures everything? Winning. And if you can win a bunch of these games here coming up in the next 2 weeks against a soft schedule, you can overcome these injuries for the time being. For a World Series push and a World Series run, we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, Jeff Arnold on the other side calls games for the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, that huge trade a month ago between the Orioles and the Padres that sent Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn to San Diego. We'll get his perspective on that. Plus, yesterday at Petco, an Orioles 4-3 win. So Jeff Arnold joins us on the other side. Coming up at 5 p.m. today, Annie Heilbrunn from the UT will join the show. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update is brought to you by eBay. Padres and Orioles, game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres, and they'll have to finish up the regular season and postseason run without Jason Adam as he tore his quad yesterday. He is out for the remainder of the year. The timetable for his recovery is about 6 to 9 months. Moving over to SDFC Sunday night on the road in LA. They beat LAFC 2-1. They swept all California teams this year, going 5-0. Next up, they'll take on Minnesota on Saturday, September 13th. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Been a rough couple of days for the Padres.
Now this down is Jason Adam. Oh no. Here's what he says to them as he arrives. I felt something pop.
It all continues tonight. And is Mike Shildt making excuses? Plus, SDFC picks up a win in LA.
5-0 against teams from the state of California.
And the Aztecs prepare to head to Pullman. Breaking it all down from the San Diego Sports 760 studios. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We're leading up to Padres baseball, game 2 of a series against the Baltimore Orioles. Why'd you look at me like that?
It's fine.
On my camera?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, nothing like interrupting the radio show for the camera.
I didn't do it. I didn't say anything.
Welcome to our relationship, Jeff. Jeff Arnold.
I didn't say anything.
Radio
you
voice,
brought it
Baltimore
up.
Orioles
I just
with
looked
us right
over.
now. Jon and Jim.
I looked over.
Jeff saved me. If you ever want another job, Jeff, Jon and Jeff has a good
Jon and Jim, come on now. You're partners. It's okay.
Dude, save me, please. Jeff, what's it been like?
I see him more than on my wife.
More than your wife, yes.
You know what? I'm in the same boat with my pal Brett Hollander, who I'm doing the broadcast with tonight. It's a long season and it's a very small booth, but fortunately I haven't kicked him out of it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because the Orioles have kind of the slow start. Everyone's like, what's going on with the Baltimore Orioles? Of course they sold off because they were out of playoff contention. They've actually played well, but you've had the unique perspective of seeing like Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn with the Orioles, and now the Orioles are taking on these players with the Padres. Like, what is it like from your seat watching their individual successes for a team that wasn't winning at a high level and now being a part of something like a postseason race like they're both in right now?
Well, I can say that Ryan O'Hearn, in the time I've done this, and I think I've called professional baseball in some form or fashion for the last 13, 14 years, Ryan O'Hearn's probably one of my top 2 or 3 all-time favorites. I mean, he's a leader. He's somebody that everybody can relate to because he has been an all-star. He's also been at the very bottom part of the heat too. I mean, he's had to fight for his job. I mean, he went through waivers when the Orioles got him and transformed his swing. And, you know, I think it's really exciting to see him have a chance to win something here with the Padres. And then Ramon Laureano, you know, we thought he was going to be a platoon player with us. You know, we needed some right-handed hitters who could hit left-handed pitching because we weren't very good at it last year. And he got off to such a good start that eventually he just couldn't come out of the lineup. I mean, we used him every day, and he was actually hitting more homers against righties than he was against lefties. He's a unique personality. He's really tough. Kind of is just going to speak his mind and be himself every time and all the time. But he's a great outfielder, too. I mean, he's one of the better defensive outfielders I've seen since I've been doing this, and maybe the strongest and most accurate throwing arm of anybody I've seen. But yeah, both are really talented guys. Both are guys that you root for. And I'm excited that they're getting a chance here in San Diego where, who knows, it could be a really good year for the Padres.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Losing Jason Adam yesterday definitely hurts. But tonight, Tyler Wells making his season debut, coming off Tommy John surgery. What do you expect to see from him tonight? I'm sure there's a pitch limit for him, but what do you expect to see from Tyler Wells?
Well, Tyler is stretched out. I mean, he threw, I think, 91 pitches in his last rehab outing. So he's going to go out there, and I would expect them to push him. I mean, yesterday, Kyle Bradish, if he hadn't got so bogged down in that second inning, he would have definitely gone longer. But, you know, for Tyler Wells, he wants to, I think, be a starter. I think it's kind of his chance to prove that he's able to do that. He's had a lot of success in first halves of seasons. So, like, the last time he was really good was 2 years ago, and he was, you know, arguably should have been selected to the American League All-Star team that year, but it just didn't work out. And then the year before, he was really good, too. So he's a pitcher that's going to command the breaking ball really well. He's got really good fastball command. He keeps guys off base. He's got some analytics behind his fastball, too. But, you know, what I think he needs to prove is that he can pitch deep into some ball games and that he can handle some of the competition that the Orioles are going to see. I mean, for the Orioles, they're going to face a lot of really talented teams over the final month of the season. I can see a lot of teams that are in playoff position. So if he does well, I think it'll kind of give him a chance to prove that he'd be up for being a starting pitcher for the Orioles next year.
I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together on the fly, Jeff. But the manager's Tony Mansolino, who would have been probably in Lynchburg when I was calling games in Lynchburg, in A-ball, way back in the day. And then later managed. And then later managed, I want to say, in Lynchburg as well. But what kind of job has Tony done with this group?
I think he's been excellent. I mean, Tony is a kind of an old school baseball guy. The type of baseball guys that, they're kind of roaming around with fungos no matter where they go with their names on it. And Tony's one of those kinds of guys. He's a great teacher of the game. His dad, Doug, was a longtime coach in the major leagues. And so he's like a sounding board for Tony, but Tony really knows what he's doing. He's become really good, I think, with the media. Everybody trusts him. I think the core guys on this Orioles team have built his trust in particular because so many of them are middle infielders, and he's worked with all of them as a guy who's been an infield coach before. Tony will tell you the truth, too. And I think that in this day and age, you see less and less guys doing it the way that Tony Mansolino does. So I think he's done a terrific job. It has not been the easiest situation to take on, but he's handled it, I think, about as well as anybody could. And I think what the Orioles' goal is over the last couple of weeks of the season is to trying to find a way to wreck somebody's season and knock somebody out of playoff position, knock somebody out of a top divisional spot into a wild card spot. I mean, that's sort of the team's goals right now, and I think Tony kind of embodies that.
Obviously, Orioles down year, 62-76. Last year, 91-71, and there was maybe a lot of questions about what they did at the deadline last year, not trading away some of their top prospects to go for it. Do you feel like there's any maybe regret there from the organization for not maybe pushing their chips all into the table last year and now looking at what happened this season, or how did the organization feel about, what they decided to not do last year, I guess, and where they're at now?
Yeah, it's a great point. I think that if they could go back and do some things in the offseason differently, I think they probably would have. They felt very confident about the young group that they had. But I think kind of what they also discovered along the way is that this is a group that maybe needs a veteran, somebody you can stick in the middle of the lineup who all the young guys, when they're not performing well, it's like, all right, you can jump on our backs and you can be the one who carries the team a little bit and also be a good guy in the clubhouse, but also somebody that can be a little bit more vocal and a little bit more forward. I think the Orioles are missing a guy like that on their team right now. I think also, they realize that when you don't maybe have enough pitching depth, then you can get yourself into some trouble. And, Grayson Rodriguez was so good against the Padres a couple of years ago when we were at Petco Park. The season just never got off the ground. And I think that for the Orioles to have had a really good year this year, you would have need Grayson Rodriguez to have made 30 starts and taken a big step forward, and he doesn't make any. And then Zach Eflin gets hurt too. And it was just kind of an avalanche from there. And as you guys know, better than anybody, if you can't pitch, you can't win. And that's part of the reason, like when I watched the Padres, I was like, this team could be really good and could go a long way. It's just because the bullpen is so good. And then they've got some really good starting pitching too. But I think the Orioles, if they could have done it again, they might have tried some things a little differently. I think they were aggressive. I just think that sometimes you win and sometimes you lose when it comes to signing free agents and in trades and things like that. But I think they understand that, after this year really just kind of went downhill from the start, there's a sense of urgency going into 26. And I think they'll be right back where they need to be next year.
Jeff Arnold calls games for the Orioles. He's with us right now, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. It's interesting because I think a lot of people just early on were like, oh, the Orioles are terrible this year, but they've actually played well. I mean, I think they put it up on TV yesterday at Padres.tv. I think the Orioles are now 43-40 in their last 83 games. And to your point, have chances now to maybe wreck some seasons late in the year. What is your perspective? You mentioned the Padres pitching in their bullpen. Of course, they lose Jason Adam. Padres have had another good year. When you watch this team, what is your perspective on what's playing out right now in San Diego?
I think that when I watch them, the pitching is excellent. I mean, when they got Mason Miller at the trade deadline, I'm like, oh, they're really serious about winning it all this year. The Jason Adam thing is devastating. I mean, he was a guy that I was kind of hoping the Orioles would pick up at some point because he's just such a good arm and, is an all-star finally this year. But if the Padres carry a lead, and it sort of feels like it was when the Royals won the World Series that year, where you turn it into a 5-inning game, and once you get into the hands of your bullpen, it's pretty much over as long as you're operating with a lead. And I think that's kind of what San Diego can be. But I am a little bit surprised by the lack of home runs. I know Petco Park is more of a pitcher-friendly yard, but there are a lot of big names in the lineup, and I'm just a little bit surprised that the offensive production hasn't necessarily been as good. I always liked Luis Ariz. I think he's a talented guy who, I still value batting average and contact. I mean, if you can't get on base, it's very hard to score runs, and Ariz is obviously great at doing that. For Tatis, the step back in terms of the home run numbers and the power, I find a little surprising. But, so much of winning playoff series comes down to how good your bullpen is. And can that bullpen get strikeouts when you get guys on base? And this group can. So I think the Padres could be very interesting to watch once you get to the postseason. And who knows, they might very well be able to run down the Dodgers and win the National League West, which I know it's been a long time since that's happened.
Well, if they do that, it's because maybe the Orioles beat the Dodgers this weekend at Camden Yards, because I know LA's coming to Baltimore after this series here between the Padres and the Orioles in San Diego. Jeff, we appreciate you doing it, man. Enjoy the next 24 or so hours in San Diego, and hope you and the fam are doing well, man. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, Jeff.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, it's a great place to come to, and I wish we got to come here every year. I mean, the weather here is perfect.
It's by the way, go tell Tony Manzolino I called games for the Lynchburg Hillcats in 2007, and then text me his response.
I will. And you know what? Actually, that's where I met Tony in the minor leagues. And, 10 years after I think we worked together at the beginning of my career and probably the beginning of his minor league coaching career, here we are in the major leagues working together. And
I'm with Jim.
Just doing the same thing, just at a little bit of a higher level.
Right. And I'm with Jim.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you don't have to mention my name. He won't know me.
He won't know who he is. Appreciate you, man.
Jim, just so you know, I know who you are, and that's important.
That's all that matters. Thank you, Jeff.
But still, I know who you are.
Thank you.
Jeff, appreciate you, man. Be well.
Take care, guys.
All right. This has gotten out of control. It's 3:13 in the afternoon.
It's always weird coming off a holiday weekend.
Oh, I forgot it was a holiday weekend.
I know. I thought it was Monday.
I'm like, Mondays there's so much going on. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
That's great. The week's almost over.
Your week's almost over.
I'm going to Pullman on Friday. Enjoy that solo show.
I will. Thanks.
And Thursday, we got Thursday Night Football between the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Thank you.
Right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Yeah.
All right, we'll react. Plus, what's playing out, not just with the Padres, but what's playing out with SDFC. Another road win. We will react. Plus, coming up at 5 p.m., Annie Heilbrunn from the UT. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort. The Players Place now open. The hotel and spa at Jamul Casino Resort. It is the next level of luxury. It has arrived. Treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and all the thrills of Jamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
And you know what just opened up as well, Jon?
What's that?
Jamul 23 with endless dining. You can go every day and savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at the all-new Jamul 23, from their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to their VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulge in chef-curated specialties, seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
And catch all the action at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. Experience the ultimate sports showdown. Catch the Padres live, plus great food at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, where fandom meets fantastic at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, the iHeartRadio Music Festival's back. Live performances by The Offspring and more. September 19th and 20th, T-Mobile in Vegas, 2 nights, 1 stage. Tickets at AXS.com. While the world is listening on iHeartRadio, you could be there. 3 chances every weekday for you to win your trip for 2 plus $1,000 spending money. Next chance to text and win happens at 5 p.m. on San Diego Sports 760. Get all the info at sportssd.com/festival. All right, there's a lot going on. Again, Padres Orioles will play game 2 tonight. You know, one thing that will be a constant for the Padres tonight on this Tuesday with school in session against the lowly Orioles. You know, the one thing that's a constant?
Yeah, they'll have a full ballpark, 45,000 fans there.
For the 60th time, roughly, this year. They're going to surpass their all-time attendance mark. The fans have been unbelievable.
Fans have been incredible
all year long. And by the way, I'm team fan with the displeasure of how this has played out here over the recent stretch, because go back to last Sunday, not Sunday, but the Sunday before Sunday. They were in first place in the NL West
by a game.
And this thing has kind of unraveled from that point. Now, it hasn't fully unraveled, but it's kind of unraveled. They're now 2.5 games behind the Dodgers and 3 games back in the loss column. But I get it. You're fully vested. You're there every night. You consume everything. And yeah, when your team goes 2-6 over an 8-game stretch, the injuries you can't deal with. I mean, it's not the team's fault that they're dealing with injuries, but when you're losing games to the Twins, when you're losing games to the Orioles, like, you should be upset.
Yeah.
Like, everything is on the line. This was supposed to be the team to go further than any recent team. This was maybe the team to bring a championship to the city. Still could be. We have no idea, but like, if anything, the fans should be critical of the team's recent play, and the fans have done more than you could possibly ask for when you consider everything. They're going to draw the most fans in the history of the team in 2025. So I get the displeasure. I get it based on what's played out since they led this division 8 days ago or 9 days ago.
Well, clearly, Jon, the fans are going to have to go out there and put up some runs on the board.
Where are they batting tonight? Because I haven't seen. Are they batting 3rd or 4th?
I think the fans are batting 5th. And also, you know, the loss of Jason Adam, that's brutal. But guess what? The fans are gonna go out there and pitch in Jason Adams' spot.
What inning do you expect the fans to pitch in?
Oh, good question. Maybe like the 7th.
Okay.
Maybe the 7th.
All right. So the fans are going to throw the 7th.
Yeah.
The fans are going to hit 5th.
I hope they can perform, because if they don't, that's going to be a problem if the fans can't perform tonight to help the Padres win.
Everyone in this city should be so thankful.
Oh my gosh.
Like if your job revolves around local sports, you should be so thankful for the passion that these fans have shown each and every day.
Because the one thing that you never want from a fan base is silence. You don't want that. You don't want it.
Apathy, yeah.
Apathy, exactly. You want your fan base to be emotionally invested in you as an organization.
Yeah.
Because the fans are the lifeblood of everything that revolves around sports. And without them, you got nothing. Like, you don't have anything, right? You want reaction. You want people to be excited. You want people to show up. You want people to pay their hard-earned money on tickets to go watch this team play. And guess what? The fans have done everything they possibly can this year to help this team out, to support this team. And you know what? If a fan's pissed off that they lose a game, go be pissed off. Now, there are sides of fandom
too far
that crosses a line. Like, there are the toxic negativity, and on the flip side, there is toxic positivity as well. And Mike Shildt loves to go towards the toxic positivity route, where you're like, what the F are you watching here? This is not good. So I do think there's a middle ground, and you can be negative and you can be positive. And whatever you choose, that's up to you. And I'm for it. But the one thing that you can't do is ever get negative or upset with an amazing fan base here in San Diego for however they feel towards their team losing or winning games.
Yeah, I think it's such a lame take where you're like, are you really blaming Manny Machado? Yeah, they are. And they should be.
I'm upset with Manny.
When you're unwilling to put accountability on players that are paid to be accountable, What are you doing? What is it's fully fair. It's within the white lines. Guess what? We've barely touched on it today. Manny Machado is coming off an awful, just terrible month.
Really bad.
Couldn't play worse. Could not play worse.
He could play worse.
Thankfully, the Padres kept their head. I mean, this is as bad as it's gotten for Manny. Even go back to the first half last year, and it was that bad. So, he's above criticism? No. If anything, he should be receiving more of the criticism. He's the one that's supposed to lead them down this path. He's this chosen one. He's the highest paid. He's the heavy, is the head that wears the, heavy's the head that wears the crown. Fernando Tatis Jr. is above criticism. I'm not going to criticize him being injured.
No.
But he's hit 5 home runs, the same as Luis Ariz since May 28th, I think. I'm making that up, but the same by and large as Luis Ariz. Like, no. So I get it, is my point. The expectations the day of the trade deadline were for this team to take off and potentially win a World Series. They're about to. We don't know it's going to happen in the future. But how can you have the expectations of World Series or bust and then a month later be like, you know what? I understand it. They haven't played as well as I thought, but I'm really happy with the boys. No, you should be upset when things aren't going well, and you should be over the moon when things are.
But you know what? I will also say to that point, if you're a fan out there and you're not fully upset with what's going on right now, and you are, everything will be fine, you're the optimistic fan.
Yeah,
go for it. Be that fan. No, you'll never hear from me. You have to be a certain way. I'm just kind of reiterating how I feel, and I think being upset with lowering a standard to me doesn't make any sense. But dude, fans are amazing here, and we see it. We would not be doing what we do every single night on the wrap-up show and this without the Padres fans. They are incredible, and they have created such a want for as much content as possible, right? Like you're seeing content around this town for the Padres like you see it in an NFL town. Like think about
like around like a Packers or something.
You see as much content in this town devoted to the Padres as you would see in an NFL city.
Which is
that's
actually
incredible.
And is more reason to me, because the fan base is so good, is more of a reason that it's so critically important to be unbiased and truthful when it comes to the team.
Right.
Because nobody wants to be given anything other than the truth. Why would you spend all of this time and not want to know actually what's playing out? Like, you're going to spend all this time watching the Padres and then take Mike Shildt at his word, everything he says? No, you just can't do that. All right, we'll get to SDFC on the other side. We'll get your calls on the other side. 877-767-4760. We'll get to Is That Good? The best and worst of the sports weekend later this hour. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT swings by at 5 p.m. We're here until 6. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. Padres and Orioles, game 2 of their 3-game series. Tonight at Petco Park, 6:40 first pitch. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. Obviously, the bad news with the Padres is Jason Adam will be out for the remainder of the season with a quad tear. The timetable for his recovery is about 6 to 9 months. And SDFC on Sunday night picked up their 7th consecutive road victory as they beat LAFC 2-1. Next up, they'll take on Minnesota on September 13th. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
All right, 877-767-4760 if you want to weigh in. We'll get to Is That Good? The best and worst of the sports weekend in 15 minutes. Annie Heilbrunn will join us at 5 p.m. And we'll get to SDFC's remarkable season continuing in a moment. But first, Dave has been patient on line 1. Dave, you're back on with Jon and Jim. Thanks for calling in, man. Dave, are you there?
Oh, Dave.
All right, I agree. I appreciate that.
Good call.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not going to agree with everything, but I thought there was.
Doesn't sound like the phones went on there, but oh well.
Yeah, because isn't there like dong now in the phones?
Yeah, some annoying sound.
Our new feature.
Yeah.
Okay, SDFC has won 7 consecutive road matches, which equals the most consecutive road matches ever won in the history of Major League Soccer. Is that correct? By anyone? I saw that somewhere. I don't think anyone's ever won more than 7 consecutive road matches. Can someone confirm that, Jim?
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not. The wins, right, ties the most by an expansion team. First place in the West. They win again on the road. I mean, it's storybook. Is it just going to continue this way all the way through the MLS Cup? I mean, it's almost too good to be true at this point, is it not?
Also 56 points, one shy of tying the single season MLS expansion club record that was set in 2018. What they're doing is they are riding the wave.
Oh, I like that.
Not like the wave, like the other team that.
Yeah, I thought it was a pun.
It is a pun.
Okay.
That they are like, it's just everything that can go right for them is going right for them. Now, that doesn't mean that they're just like lucking into these wins. They're really, really good.
Right.
So, their skill and how good they are as a team is contributing to all these wins and the 7 straight road wins. And they're also doing it with a good amount of injuries as well. They're not like this fully healthy club that's just going out there and dominating. Like Mikey Varas has got to put, different players in different positions and got to work with a roster that has injuries on it. And, still they're coming out on top, like more often than not. And on the road, especially 7 straight road victories. It's an incredible watch right now. They are 5-0 against California teams, 2-0 against LAFC, 2-0 against Galaxy, and they beat San Jose. So they run California,
as the Twitter says,
as the
as
X,
MLS tweeted,
as the X tweeted,
yep.
Correct. And they're just, they're emphatically making a statement every single game. Like, oh, you don't believe us now? Watch us. Oh, you don't watch us. Now I do think people actually do really believe in this team, but yeah, you're looking at it from a San Diego fan's perspective of like, this can't, like, seriously, this team is the best team in soccer. Like, seriously, can they win the whole thing the first year? It'd be incredible.
Yeah, I think it was amazing too, and this has happened a few times, I'm sure, during this 7-match road winning streak. They trail. Like, I would imagine if we looked at Major League Soccer trend lines, a team trailing on the road does not have a high winning percentage. Like, the odds of winning when trailing on the road aren't like, oh yeah, we got them where we want them. Let's go behind early. And they trailed.
They've had some
against LAFC. They've come back
time.
from 2-0. They've come back from 2-1. They've won late. So yeah, to your point, they've kind of won in a variety of ways. And how this is playing out is kind of remarkable. And the names you're hearing, right? Chucky Lozano. You're like, oh, Chucky Lozano. That's a name. He's put together this remarkable season. Anders Dreyer has put together like this unbelievable season where he might be the best player in the league.
he might be the front runner right now to win the MVP.
So like, it's kind of crazy because I remember 3 weeks before the season, we're like, who's on the team? There's like an expansion draft. And then all of a sudden, boom, they were on the road against the Galaxy the first week, defending champs. They win definitively. And they kind of, truth be told, normally in a season in all sports, there's like an up and down period of time. I'm sure they've had a down. But by and large, the trend lines have been up all season long. I mean, that's basically how it's gone since day one.
Yeah, they got hot and they have not looked back. I mean, they're up by 5 points over Minnesota in the standings in the Western Conference.
That's a lot.
They play Minnesota here in a week's time. No. When's the 13th?
11 days.
11 days. So not this weekend, but next weekend. They play Minnesota, who's second in the Western Conference.
Where's that here? Is that match here?
That match is here, yes.
Yeah, because they already won, I want to say, in Minnesota.
They did, yes. Yeah. And that was being described as one of their better wins of the season. So, look, you got 5 games remaining in your regular season.
That's it.
All right. The MLS Cup playoffs, they begin at the end of October, leading into November. If they can secure the 1 seed, then you're facing the winner of the 8-9, which right now is Colorado and San Jose. So we're still a ways from that. Things can happen. But you're kind of looking at like, can they secure the top spot in the Western Conference? And can they continue this wave of momentum and playing at such a high level that, you know, it would be kind of crazy that the first major sports championship in this town, if it came from
be amazing,
the expansion soccer team in MLS.
Do you know the format, by the way, for the postseason? I ask you this like every 2 weeks.
It's a best of 3.
It's a best of 3. I think it goes home, road, home for the higher seed.
And I actually looked at it today. That's why I know. 8-9 plays each other, and then the winner of that
1-8, 2-7.
Yeah, the winner of that would play the 1 seed, and then 2 plays 7, so forth and so forth.
Yep.
Gets started on October 29th, I want to say. And then the MLS Cup final is in December.
Yeah, exactly. It would be Saturday, December 6th. So it's a long postseason, and you're right. It starts in October. It ends on the 6th of December. By the way, Padres starting lineup is out. And Fernando Tatis Jr. is back in it, which makes yesterday even more perplexing for me. In the 9th inning, because you had a Fernando Tatis Jr. on your bench in a 1-run game representing the winning run, and you went with Will Wagner. That's insanity. You had Jackson Merrill, who would later pinch run, so I know he was available because he literally pinch ran. And by the way, Jackson Merrill's in the lineup today.
Okay.
So you had Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill both available. How could they not have been? Because they're available today, and neither gotten it bad, representing the winning run in the 9th inning against the Baltimore Orioles. Someone explain it to me like it makes sense.
I'll tell you what, Mike Shildt had a really bad 2-3 weeks. I'm not afraid to say it. He has been really bad. I think the way that he's managing his games, the moves that he has made, for the most part, a lot of them haven't worked out. And I'm a little worried about Mike Shildt going into a postseason again. Last year, he got outmanaged by Dave Roberts. This year, we'll see what happens. But the style of Mike Shildt, I don't know how it's going to play out in the postseason. I just don't.
I do. He'll be bunting in the first inning.
Well, I know what he'll do, but I don't know how it's going to play out as in, will it work or not? My guess, I don't think so. And if Mike Shildt goes in the postseason and say they lose a series or they lose a game and, you know, it comes out later like, I'm not going to manage any differently than I managed in the regular season. Well, then you lost, because in the postseason, you have to do things a little differently. You have to be more reactionary to things instead of waiting for things to happen. You have to be uber aggressive, and you can't give up outs. You can't be too late on a call. You have to make the moves before things start to go bad. And I don't know if Mike Shildt is going to be able to do that. We'll see. But last year and recently, it's concerning for me.
I guarantee you they will give up outs in the postseason.
Yeah, and I'll be upset.
I guarantee you they will try to move runners.
Of course they will.
In the postseason by bunting. Here's the lineup. Tatis leading off. Arise hitting second, playing first. Machado bats third. Gavin Sheets DHs. Ramon Laureano is in left. Jackson Merrill's back in center. Jake Cronenworth is at second. Jay Kronos is second. Mason McCoy is at short. And Freddie Fermin is the catcher for you, Darvish. So there's your lineup tonight in game 2. And there's no such thing as must win. September 2nd, but it's kind of must win. Because you're reeling.
Yeah.
You're reeling.
So here's what Ryan O'Hearn has done recently. If you're wondering why he's not in the lineup, his last 15 games been fairly solid. 309 with a 455 slug, 367 on base, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. It's good.
Right.
He's on the lineup. And where the Bogarts injury hurts you the most is like the construction of your lineup.
That's the thing. You still have to field fielders.
Yeah. You know, if and also when Luis Ariz has 3 hits the previous day, Mike Shildt is probably foaming at the mouth to like, I can't wait to watch. I have the privilege of watching Luis Ariz once again.
Well, I'm not sitting Luis Ariz against righties either.
No, you're not.
I don't think you can.
No,
I sit him against lefties.
You're not. I get it. But the problem lies in you don't have enough spots for all the guys you want in there.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And now they'll be like, oh, we got O'Hearn off the bench, which was fine. But the Bogarts injury, it affects you. It really does. Because now the bottom of your lineup kind of looks like the bottom of your lineup pre-trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting a guy that's hit 14 home runs against right-handed pitching. You don't have a lot of guys that have hit 14 home runs in general.
Yeah, no one can play shortstop other than Mason McCoy or Jose Iglesias, who is still looking for his first hit since Xander Bogaerts went down with a broken foot.
I think we say the same about both of them, probably. I have no clue what Mason McCoy is down, but obviously not a lot. All right, let's sneak in.
Why isn't Will Wagner in there? Does he even play shortstop? I don't know.
What is he? I think he does, right? He plays both middle positions.
He's been swinging the bat really well, John.
Apparently, except last night.
Give me a freaking break.
All right, Dave. Thanks for calling in 877-767-476. You're back with us.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me this time.
Gotcha.
All right, 10-4 on that. Hey, before I go over to the Padres real fast, I just want to say and recognize your SCFC broadcast team, Darren and Adrian. I'm not a soccer guy. I'm not a soccer fan. I couldn't tell you a side kick from a goal kick, but these guys are good. They're fun to listen to. I will sit back and put them on, and I learn things from them. I just don't know where the hell are all of the. I'm going to poke a stick. I don't know where the SDFC fans are because they're not calling in, and they should. And so, I'm going to poke a stick at them a little bit. FC fans, you need to. Get a little bit more active out there. You got 35,000 of you every night at the stadium. Call into Jon and Jim for God's sakes and act interested. Last night, John, on the there you go. So last night, John, you made a great point on the wrap up about Manny Machado not getting enough attention in terms of his poor play for such a long time now. And I want to compliment you on that because I think you hit a real big nail on the head. So goes Manny, so goes the Padres. And one of the key things we talked about, and I think we all agreed upon at many points during the season, we talked about the star players need to perform like star players. Your biggest star player right now, for whatever reason, looks tired, looks disinterested, and I know that's probably not true, but he looks real ragged right now, like he needs a couple of weeks off for whatever reason. That's gotta change. If these guys have any hopes backing into the playoffs, you've got a real starting pitching problem, and you got a Manny problem that is permeating throughout the rest of the team.
Dave, appreciate
John,
it. We're up
nice
against
job
it.
on that one.
And I know what Jim's about to say. I think they're not backing in. Like I don't think based on what's played out right now, they were 14-3 over a 17-game stretch not long ago. They're 6 games up on a playoff spot. You don't back in based on putting yourself in that position. Now things may change. If they go 9-16 down the stretch and they get in, okay. But that hasn't played out as of yet.
No, they might be limping their way to the postseason because of the health of the team.
But not backing.
Backing in would mean, 9 and whatever.
Their record over the last 30 games is like good.
Yeah. And I have to believe that their talent as a team against these bad teams they're going to play is going to keep them above water and that they're going to pick up some wins here.
Sure.
Like if they cratered in the next 2 weeks against the teams they're playing, I would be shocked.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. I would too. All right, we're going to get to Is That Good? The best and worst of the sports weekend. On the other side, Annie Heilbrunn at 5 p.m. This is Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, the wrap coming up at 4 p.m. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT. She will join us coming up at 5 p.m. All right, where were we? Oh, we're going to get to Is That Good momentarily. I feel like there was another point to be made. What were we even talking about? Seriously.
What?
I couldn't tell you. Oh, no, at the break.
During the break?
No, but I'm just saying in general on the show. It was Dave. It was Dave.
It's a weird day. It's a weird day.
It's a weird day, man.
Weird day.
It's a weird day. All right, let's get to it then.
Is that good?
Wilcox, snapper, Huber, holder from 29 yards away. Oh, he missed it badly. Kick on the way. Boswell. That's a winner.
The good and bad from the sports weekend.
All right, the I guess prodigy, or what's the thing I'm looking for? The anointed number one pick in next year's NFL draft. Arch Manning made his debut as a starter for Texas over the weekend. Oh, what a debut. He went 17 for 30, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The numbers don't look awful, but if you watch that game, he was awful. Brent, is that good?
That's so good. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm shocked those are his final numbers.
Yeah.
Having watched the game, I thought he was going to throw for like 90 yards in that game.
There was a point where it was
looking like
he was going to probably throw under 100 and then have that really bad interception. He did make that nice throw for the touchdown.
Yep.
But maybe, like, I don't know, slow down on making Arch Manning the greatest quarterback to ever play college football.
Also, kind of a tough, now I know he played a lot last year, but you're playing at the Horseshoe.
It's not the easiest place to start.
Defending national champions and the best defense in college football history was basically Ohio State's last year. Right. So it's not the easiest assignment. But I mean, you are expected to be the top overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, and you're going up against, this is your time to shine, dude. You're going up against Matt Patricia, former NFL defensive coordinator, obviously all those years with the Patriots. You're going up against some big boy talent here in Ohio State. You're not going up against the cupcakes that you played in high school.
No, he's got a tough schedule. I mean, they're in the SEC too.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the easiest sledding. It'll be interesting to see how he plays this year.
Yeah.
Speaking of college football, what do you got, Brent?
I was going to say his Uncle Peyton has the big forehead. Arch has some big ass ears. That's what I got out of this weekend.
That was your takeaway? Is that good?
Yeah, he's got big
ears.
Is that good? All right, I'll stick with college football. UNC last night. The pomp and circumstance. It was an incredible atmosphere, wasn't it? They marched down the field.
Michael Jordan was there. Mia Hamm was there.
They're a well-oiled
LT
machine.
was there.
They're up 7-0. You're like, Belichick is a wizard.
You had so much star power in the stands. The place was rocking. ESPN spent their entire day talking about Belichick's first game in college football.
They got boat raced.
Yeah.
They allowed, I think, 1.38 consecutive points. I mean, this thing was a complete abomination. If UNC goes better than 3-9, that'll be incredible work by Bill Belichick. They get boat raced at home in his debut. Is that good?
No, it's so good. Are you kidding me?
I mean, it's not like you played, by the way, Texas.
They're awful, John.
Like you played TCU.
They're awful.
They looked awful.
Speaking of awful, I'll stay with college football. The theme of Is That Good Today? Alabama. Oh, Alabama. They lose to Florida State. Yeah. 31-17.
Yeah.
It has not been good since Nick Saban left for Alabama. And Alabama fans are freaking out right now. Brent, is that good?
No, it's so good. Are you kidding me?
It's going bad for Alabama. They
didn't make a playoff with 12 teams.
Yeah.
Think about that. They made every playoff, I think, in the history of the college football playoff. They didn't make a playoff with 12 teams under Kellen DeBoer. Okay, I'll go back to the Padres. Manny Machado. Listen to this. Manny's last 24 games. He's hit 196. With a 267 on base. And a 261 slug. For a 528 on base plus slugging, OPS. Is that awful? Is that good? No, it's bad. I mean, he's hitting 196 over his last 24 games. It's not good.
It's not good. Shout out to friend of the show, I think, Darnay Tripp.
He's in Is That Good today?
Well, just because he put a stat out there that I'm stealing from him. But I'm giving you credit, so don't get mad at me. Dylan Cease. He has one quality start since he went 6 2/3 innings, he allowed 1 earned run on June 21st versus Kansas City in his last since July 18th. Is that good?
No, it's so good. Are you kidding me?
What?
He's been awful. I remember I tweeted the best trade they made was not trading Dylan Cease. Just kidding. I lied.
Listen to these numbers. Just innings pitched since July 18th. 5 1/3, 5, 4 2/3, 5, 6, 3 1/3, 5, 4 1/3, 4. What?
You think that's bad on cue? How about this? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last 7 Padres games. Here are innings pitched by their starters. Going from yesterday to 7 games ago. 4 innings, 2 innings, bullpen day. 5 innings, 3 innings, 4 innings, 4 1/3 innings, 3 2/3 innings. Those are their last 7 starts. None of them more than 5 innings. 6 of them, they didn't last 5 innings. Is that good? There is your issue.
Where Kevin was right.
He said that, right?
Kevin has been harping on the starting pitching for a while now. And it's now come back to bite them a little bit here.
A lot of bit.
We'll see what happens. There's still 24 games remaining.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right, we'll get to the wrap on the other side. Annie Heilbrunn will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We're here until 6. We're getting ready for Padres and Orioles baseball. Game 2 of a 3-game series tonight at 6:40. The wrap coming up next. Do we have a giveaway today, Brent? We do.
Yeah.
We'll tell you about it on the other side. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by eBay. Padres and Orioles, game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr. are back in the lineup. Interesting, they couldn't hit yesterday in the 9th inning, but they'll play today and they'll start for the Padres. Doesn't make any sense. Good job, Mike Shildt. And this past Sunday, SDFC picked up another road win. Their 7th consecutive road win as they beat LAFC 2-1. Next up, they'll take on Minnesota at home on September 13th here at Snapdragon Stadium. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Your favorite pair, Jon and Jim.
I really don't know where you really turn right now. Like, I don't know what we're waiting for. Are we waiting for them to look like the 14-3 team from 2 weeks ago? Are we waiting for them to get healthy? Waiting for the Dodgers to slip up? What are we waiting for? It's just a weird time.
It is a weird time because they have these injuries, and you kind of wish that they had more time to get healthier.
Now, live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of Jon and Jim. 1 hour from now, Annie Heilbrunn from the UT. Later this hour, listen to this giveaway, guys. Wrap coming up in a moment. 2 free tickets to see Lil Wayne, September 10th, North Island Credit Union, North Island Chula Vista Amphitheater. For tickets and info, visit Ticketmaster.com. Did the name change? Because the read says North Island Chula Vista Amphitheater. But Lil Wayne, September 10th?
Lil Wayne.
Excuse me?
I don't know.
So wait, that's a week from tomorrow. 2 free tickets to Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Did you say Lil?
Lil Wayne.
Little?
It's Lil, not little.
I know there's no T's, but like when you just say it. Like
Lil Wayne.
Me and Aaron were at Lil Wayne last night.
Yeah. That's the whitest way you could say it.
Little
Wayne.
Little Wayne.
Yeah, it's Lil.
We were at Little Wayne.
You know,
I didn't realize he was still out there doing it.
We went to the Little Wayne. We went to the Little Wayne performance.
Did you know he was going around touring? This guy was a big deal.
Now, I wasn't keeping up on my Lil Wayne concert dates,
right,
but pretty cool that he's here in San Diego.
Yes, and we will give away tickets. Are we going to do Trainwreck Radio for that, Brent? I think we should. I think we should. Trainwreck Radio trivia coming up later this hour.
Nothing better than Trainwreck Radio on this
because
show.
It's typically a train wreck.
Yeah,
just like this show.
Yeah.
We'll hear from Mike Shildt before today's game. I cannot wait to hear from Mike Shildt later on between now and 6 p.m. as the Padres get ready for the Orioles. But right now, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
What's your biggest concern with the Padres right now?
Their health. The health of this team is my biggest concern. Fernando, I know he's in the lineup tonight, but he's not 100%. Jackson Merrill, he's in the lineup tonight, not 100%. You lost Jason Adam for the year. Who the hell knows when Michael King will return, and if Michael King will even look like Michael King. You know, Xander Bogaerts is out for presumably the rest of the regular season. We'll see how he or when he returns from his broken foot. The health of this team, to me, they can't have any more major injuries. They have to get healthier. So that's my major concern.
My concern, I still need to get to the bottom of what on earth Mike Shildt was thinking in the 9th inning yesterday.
That's your biggest concern?
Because it goes to the larger point of, is Mike Shildt capable of piloting a team in the postseason to the levels that we're hoping for them to reach? Now, it's not solely on Shildt, but you batted Will Wagner. You did that. Like, you said, hey, Will, grab a bat. He did that. Like, that's a decision he made. He looked at Jackson. He looked at Toddy. He looked at Will. Like, imagine that. Will.
I'm going to choose Will Wagner.
And Will's like, me?
Talking to me?
Will, like you chose me. He proceeds to ground
Toddy's over there.
He proceeds to ground into a double play, if not for an awful throw.
Merrill's right here, dude.
So I just need an explanation from Mike Shildt on what on earth was he thinking.
He'll never give an explanation.
I know.
He couldn't find his glasses.
See, I mean, that's my biggest concern. What the hell happened yesterday in the 9th inning?
Well, also the fact that Mike Shildt's having this team lay down sack bunts in like the 2nd inning.
They're sack bunting with 2 outs in the ninth. Like, dude, you can't give up an out. It's the final out of the game.
He called for a sack bunt in the first inning over the weekend. Remember that?
He did, and he called for one in the second inning yesterday.
Now, I do think maybe that was more on Luis Arise than Mike Shildt.
Well, then he didn't call for it.
We don't know.
Yesterday, he called for it in the second inning, down 2-0.
Yeah. When Freddie Fermin's dropping down sack bunts, that's always on Mike Shildt.
Fermin during BP must just be squaring. They're like I don't even think they let him swing away
Just
during
practice
BP.
your bunting, buddy.
Just bunt. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, I have
so
concerns.
infuriating.
I have concerns. Next question.
Would you guys take the Padres as a 6 seed and fully healthy right now?
100%. I just want this team to get healthy. And wherever they're at in the postseason, as long as they're healthy, at this point in time, it feels like that's what you would want to take. Because going for the division, it's still in play. I'm not saying it's not. 2.5 back, really 3.5 back.
Yeah.
3 back of the Cubs is going to be tough. Not saying those things are out of the realm of possibility and that they're not obtainable. But if right now you gave me a piece of paper to sign and said, hey, you're the 6th seed, but you are 100% fully healthy, the Jason Adams thing was standing because you can't return. But everybody else is fully healthy, I think I might sign on the dotted line.
I mean, I tend to agree because it's hard to take the 2 seed and be like, you're fully unhealthy.
Right.
Now, yeah, you've advanced the second round. You're in a divisional series. Could you win a round or two with an unhealthy team? I guess you could. I'd prefer to see the Padres closer to full strength. It's just the basic point. And no matter what seed they are, but I will say this, dude, goes back to the home road conversation. I don't care who is active for the Padres. If they're asked to win a ton of road games, that's also a tough, tall task for them.
They're a bad road team.
It's just there's 6 games under 500 on the road. That doesn't give you a lot of faith if they're a 5 or 6 seed. Next question.
Is Bill Belichick going to make it through the season at North Carolina?
Dude, after
in
last
what regard?
night,
I mean, like, will he get fired?
Well, or will he step down?
Yeah.
He's not going to get fired. They're not going to fire Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick will have to step down from this job. But that was bad last night. I mean, completely unprepared, completely outmatched. The talent level on that team compared to TCU wasn't even close. It's funny. So I turned the game on, and the hype around North Carolina was just ridiculous.
Absurd.
And I watched the first drive, and I'm like, it's pretty good. They're just running it down TCU's throat. Their quarterback's making nice throws over the middle to the sideline. I'm like, wow, okay, there we go. Turn the game off. Turn back on. I turn on something else. I forget what it was.
It was the Padres.
Was it the Padres? No.
Yeah, because they were playing at the same time, 3:40 and 5 p.m.
Okay, so maybe it was the Padres. Yeah. Turn back to the Padres. Didn't watch the second of the remainder of that North Carolina game. Saw the final score. I'm like, what the hell happened? I thought they're the greatest team ever. That was the first drive. After the first drive, yeah, it wasn't pretty.
By the way, the TCU football on social media's troll job of North Carolina continues today.
So good.
So they're going back and they're finding like receipts on Carolina tweeting out, excited to showcase our program this fall on Hulu. They quote tweeted that and said, when does episode 1 come out? So, I mean, TCU, I'll tell you, bad look for North Carolina, great look for TCU. They took that personally. And they made a statement last night in Chapel Hill. What do you got, Brent?
I bet they still make a bowl game.
Their
Their schedule's so easy, though.
Maybe. I mean, I know they have like Richmond.
Yeah, they got Charlotte, Richmond, Central Florida. Clemson will kill them. But
I see your point.
Virginia's not any good. Syracuse isn't any good. Wake Forest isn't any good. They don't really play the elite of the ACC this year, with the exception of Clemson.
Next question.
Is Saturday a must-win game for the Aztecs?
No, it's not a must-win game, but like, here's the thing. Year 2 of Sean Lewis, you're trying to build a winning program. You need to have at least one signature win under your belt to start doing that. I mean, you can win a bunch of games, but what are the fans looking for? To get excited and to want to go. They're looking for a signature win.
Mm-hmm.
I think Saturday at Washington State, you could consider and put in the signature win category early on in Sean Lewis's tenure here at San Diego State. It's not a must-win game, but like to continue to build and to continue to build a fan base that needs rebuilding, the hype around the team to continue to build on that instead of just people being like, oh, you guys beat Stony Brook, whatever. Now you guys are playing real opponents. Look what happened. they need to play good against Washington State. I think a win would go a long way.
By the way, that line has moved crazy. So Washington State opened as a 6.5-point favorite. It's down to 1.5. Now, Washington State skirted by Idaho. Did anyone watch that game? Is that how you spent Saturday night? I did.
Idaho had some cool helmets.
They did. And it was a 13-10 game. Washington State won at the buzzer on a field goal. And Idaho was a lot like Stony Brook, ranked in the FCS, preseason top 25. So, no, it's not a must-win game, but is it a great opportunity? I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, you're a 1 or 2 point dog at Washington State. You're coming off a game in which you looked the part. So we'll see if that can, again, continue this weekend for the Aztecs Saturday night at 7:15 p.m. What are you hemming and hawing about?
Nothing.
No, I need to know.
I'll tell you.
You can tell me the break.
Yes.
I do want to remind our listeners of this. All right, NFL fans, week 1 just became your place to play free and grow the bag. Listen to this. DraftKings Pick 6, an official partner of the NFL, is here with Bag Builder, completely free way to play for a share of $1 million or more in cash. Think you can stack some cash? Here's how it works.
Yeah, you download the Pick 6 app right now. DraftKings is the easiest way to play fantasy. All you got to do is use our code SD760. You can enter for free, make up to 6 picks, more or less on player stats for week 1. That's it. It's as simple as it's easy. The entry fee, there's no catch.
All right. So again, the code to use is SD760. Give us a couple of plays, Jim. Week 1's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night, we got Eagles Cowboys. We can't wait. Give us a couple of plays you got to have in your pick 6 for week 1.
All right, I'm taking all Eagles here. I'll give you 2 picks.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, I'll give you 2 picks. You need 6, but here's 2 that I got. Jalen Hurts, the tush push is unstoppable. More than a half rushing touchdown for Jalen Hurts. Yeah, give me more than a half rushing touchdown for him. And Saquon Barkley, coming off of the best season of his career, he was just voted the #1 player in the NFL by NFL Top 100. More than a half rushing touchdown for him. Those are my 2 picks over the weekend, actually on Thursday night. Take those. You're welcome.
All right, so you have to have those in your week 1 pick 6. You have to have those in your week 1 pick 6. Again, download the Pick 6 app. DraftKings, easiest way to play fantasy. Use code SD760. That's SD760. Don't just sit back, get in for free, build the bag and run it up. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, use code SD760, opt in, and start stacking entries for NFL Week 1. Zero cost, huge upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. Must claim token for free entry in Bag Builder contest. Only perfect entries earn share of cash prize. Tokens are single use and expire September 8th at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. On the other side, we're going to hear from Mike Shildt coming up. Annie Heilbrunn's going to join us at 5 p.m. Plus, we're giving away those Lil Wayne tickets coming up later this hour at 4:45. Stay with us. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates all our $5,000 winners. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference, and maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 for their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I will take the good news.
Pirates scored 4 in the first against the Dodgers at PNC Park.
Oh, nice. Let me guess the bad news. The Dodgers now are leading the Pirates.
The Dodgers scored 16. No, it's not that bad of news. It was bases loaded, nobody out for the Dodgers in the second, but it's now 4-1 with 2 outs in that inning. So again, Pirates leading 4-1 in Pittsburgh against the Dodgers team. You know, we spent all this time talking about how the Padres have struggled. It's not like the Dodgers have completely run away with anything here. They've got the series in Pittsburgh. They've got a series this weekend coming up in Baltimore. These aren't great teams, obviously, by record, but Dodgers haven't played particularly well either. So we'll see. Again, early, Pittsburgh leading LA 4-1. Of course, the Padres entered the day 3 games back of LA in the loss column and can't afford a tiebreaker in the division to win the division.
And why this thing could be close is because the Dodgers have been blah for the last month and a half. They're not ripping off a 14-3 stretch. Now, against you, they played really well, albeit the last series you played them, but you had an opportunity and you squandered it. So just because the Dodgers aren't playing well, I think that's going to keep the Padres in the hopes of winning a division for a little while here.
Yeah.
Unless the Padres just rip off a hot streak and the Dodgers continue to play the way they're playing.
I mean, it's still, you said the last month and a half, and you're right. I think it's July 3rd is the date. Remember, that's 2 months ago tomorrow. From July 3rd on, I don't even know what the Dodgers record is. It's not good.
No.
Like the Padres have still, I know they've fallen back here. Padres have still picked up something like 7 games, you know, in the loss column, something like 7 games. So that's a lot in 2 months. And you're always kind of fearful, oh, are the Dodgers going to turn it on? Are they going to win 4 straight? Are they going to win 6 of 7? But they haven't. And I would say at least the door is open, but it goes back to the point we've been making all day. It's like, you got to take care of your own house first. Like the Dodgers can play poorly, but that doesn't mean the Padres can.
Yeah, you got to go out there and beat the Orioles. You got to go out there and have your pitchers go deep into a game.
Right.
You got to go out there and score runs. Manny Machado has to play much better. Like you got to go out there and make sure that these injuries don't keep piling up. I mean, Dodgers could lose a bunch of games here, but if you don't go out and take advantage of it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting. I still look at this schedule and, you know, I think 2 things are true. I don't think he gets saved by a schedule, but I also think it provides them opportunities. I'm not saying they're just going to win because of the schedule. Like to your point, they've just lost games to the Twins and the Orioles, but like, let's be honest. They're only taking on one team that's going to make the postseason from here on out. Isn't that right? In the Mets?
Yes. We'll see about the Reds. They face the Reds next week, but my guess is the Reds aren't making the postseason.
I mean, they're 4 games out right now. They could, but it's unlikely. So of your 24 remaining games, 3 of them are against a playoff team.
Yeah.
The other 21 are not. And here's the thing about the Padres, and I know it hasn't played out the last 4 days. They're good against bad teams. Even with the last 4 days, there's something like 19 games over 500 against teams under 500. I'll still take my chances with what they have to come. Because, again, they've been decent enough in those spots, and they're closing at home. 15 of their last 24 at home, and they're 20 games over 500 home. There's so many indicators supporting them playing well enough down the stretch.
I just have to believe that they're going to pick up some wins here.
Yep.
That they're not going to squander this opportunity completely. They might not have a record that we were hoping that they would have over the 16-game stretch that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like they can pick up some wins here, and they can, you know, of the 16 games, we said 11-5, and if you won every series, I don't know if that's going to happen now, but if you get to 11-5, that means you need to at least sweep somebody. And I think if you get to 11-5, that's still a number I'm looking at, where if you got to 11-5, you're sitting pretty good.
Wait, give me your math on to get to 11-5. You have to sweep someone.
Well, hold on.
The math is wrong.
It's wrong?
Well, yeah. How did they have to sweep someone to go 11-5? Because you said they could go 11-5 without sweeping anyone. What's changed?
Then they lost the series.
No, they lost a game. Oh, this included the Twins series?
Yeah.
You're a genius.
I was talking about the Twins. Yeah, the run started with the Twins.
Oh, the 16-game run?
Yeah, so 3
So
against
what are they,
Minnesota.
1-3?
Yeah.
Dude, 11-5 would be incredible.
I know.
I got to sweep 2 teams, right? You got to go 10-2.
Crap, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to sweep 2 teams, I think.
Okay, maybe 10-6.
Yeah, exactly. Would be pretty good. By the way, the Padres have made a move. Unsurprisingly, Jason Adams has been placed on the 15-day IL.
Why?
Alec Jacob is back from AAA. So the corresponding move for Adam being placed on the IL, which we all knew because he's out for the year, is Alec Jacob, who's actually done well for them. He's been, again, recalled from AAA. Remember the Padres have additional roster spots now? That's why they activated Jackson Merrill.
Didn't play him.
I mean, they ultimately used him as a pinch runner, but you're right. So they can go from 26 to 28. I don't even know what they're carrying now, if it's 27 or 28. They just signed Martin Maldonado. How do we bury the lead?
Oh my gosh, you're
They
right.
just signed Martin Maldonado to a minor league deal, so they can
missing
go.
piece.
They can go with 3 catchers at some point in September if they want. I don't know what it means for their October, but they can go with 3 catchers if they want at some point.
I mean, what Freddie Fermin has done at the plate and what they've turned him into, which is just like a sack bunt specialist, might as well have kept Kolick and Bergert and just have Martin Maldonado as your everyday catcher.
I mean, it is a fair point that if you weren't going to let Fermin impact the game offensively, and again, he hasn't taken advantage of some of the opportunities over the last week or two, but it's a fair point. Like if Fermin was just going to be the same level of production as your other guys, was it worth the risk of giving up young pitching talent?
He, over his last 15 games, is hitting 156. He's 2 for his last 19. His splits over his last 30 games, John, 236, 276 on base, and a 319 slug.
He's being asked to do something he's never done.
So you upgraded, but like
how much?
Barely. And now what you're doing is you're pinch hitting for him late in games, like you would pinch hit for Martin Maldonado late in the game. So like, what's changed? Because the whole point of upgrading the catcher spot was you stopped doing those things. So you stop turning Martin Maldonado into a 5-inning catcher because you need to pinch hit for him in the 6th or 7th, right? You turn instead of having your catcher lay down sacrifice bunts all the time, you actually let him hit and contribute. Freddie Fermin,
good point.
Now that's some of it's obviously on Freddie Fermin. It's not just all because they're turning it into a bunt specialist and they're taking him out for pinch hitting spots, but still. You don't think that's messed up his timing maybe to make him a bunter specialist?
And again, that's where I don't really put it on Preller. Like Preller didn't acquire him and be like, here's what I want you to do with him. He say like bunt him and pinch hit for him. Right. He acquired him for the manager, and the manager has kind of turned him into that player over the last month. All right, we're giving away Lil Wayne tickets later this hour. Annie Heilbrunn will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We're going to hear from Mike Shildt coming up as well. His pregame comments with the media as the Padres get ready for the Orioles game 2 of this 3-game series down at Petco Park. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update's brought to you by eBay. Padres and Orioles tonight, game 2 of their 3-game series, 6:40 first pitch at Petco Park. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill both back in tonight's lineup for the Padres, and Jason Adam has been placed on the season-ending IL. Alec Jacob has been recalled in his place, and SDFC on Sunday night got their 7th consecutive road victory as they beat LAFC 2-1 up in LA. Next match for SDFC will be on Saturday, September 13th at Snapdragon Stadium against Minnesota. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
All right, Jon and Jim. Annie Heilbrunn coming up at 5 p.m. We'll get to Trainwreck Radio trivia for Lil Wayne tickets coming up at 4:45. Mike Shildt is speaking with the media. So this from Marty Caswell. Mike Shildt says Michael King came out of his side session well yesterday. Did you know he was throwing a side session yesterday?
I do now.
Okay, he threw a side session yesterday. We'll throw another side this week. Then possible return after that, question mark, per Marty. Didn't want to put a date on it, but could line up during Red Series next week. So that got pushed back a week because we're here in Baltimore, and I knew they weren't going to pitch him for the first time in Denver. It's not happening. So, and you made the point, I agree with you. You can't soft landing spot it. It's September, but they're going to. So he's not going to pitch against Baltimore. And he's not going to pitch against Colorado if he's throwing another side session this week, because that's when they're playing the Rockies this weekend. So if he threw yesterday and he throws in the middle of the week, let's say Wednesday, Thursday, then maybe they're lining him up for the beginning of that Reds home series coming up next week.
All right, so let's just map this out here.
Map it out.
Say he returns, let's go September 9th.
Okay.
It's Tuesday, game 2 of their series against the Reds.
Okay.
All right. 5 days later, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be Colorado at home on a Sunday. So there's 2 starts right there at home. Then they got an off day on that Monday for some reason. And then they go on a 6-game road trip to finish up their road trip of the season through New York and Chicago. So he would pitch then in Chicago.
That's the White Sox.
And then he would pitch one more time. That's 4 starts. Right? 4 starts.
Yeah, it was 4 starts.
So you got 4 starts if he returns next week against the Cincinnati Reds.
I mean, is that enough to really know?
Because the first start is clearly going to be monitored, and there'll be a pitch count. Mike Shildt even said as much post game that he's going to be under a restriction and under a pitch count. So that's 1 start out of the way that you won't get any length from Michael King. Then after that, you got 3 starts remaining, and you got to ramp it up quickly.
But there'll be restrictions, I promise you that, for at least his second start.
Yeah.
There's no training wheels come off by the second start. It would probably be either the 3rd or the 4th start. And I still go back to this side session game, and these sim games is a dangerous game to play. He's thrown 2 innings since May 18th. Go put him in a baseball game. See what happens. I mean, if you're doing all this work to Fort Wayne sim, side session, just go face an opponent in a game where things can occur.
Well, see, this is the thinking and the process maybe they're going through right now of are we going to push these guys, or are we going to make sure that they're fully healthy for the postseason? Excuse me.
Are we saying this gives him a better chance of being healthy because he's not getting hurt in a side session?
Are we going to go try and win a division, all hands on deck, or are we going to try to get as healthy as we possibly can for a postseason run? And now with the loss of Jason Adam, maybe they're going to be even more cautious with things because they can't afford any more major injuries.
Okay, but hear me out. Let's say King is healthy when October starts, but not tested.
That's kind of scary.
Healthy but not tested, as in his last 4 outings are 3 2/3, 4 2/3, 5-5. That's very realistic, by the way. So, or 4 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings.
Say they're going on the road to Chicago.
And let's say the success in those outings is moderate. A good start followed by one that wasn't as good. A good start followed by one that's not as good. Okay, so he's throwing what game for you? And what is the expectation?
I think when I say this, it's probably like the closest thing. If Michael King is not healthy and pitching like Michael King in the postseason, they're not winning a World Series. I think that's as close as a definitive as I'm going to get on something. Hope I'm wrong, but I don't know if this team can go all the way without a healthy Michael King pitching at the level we've seen from Michael King before.
And then let me ask you this. Is it realistic for Michael King to look like last year's Michael King when he's thrown 2 innings since May 18th?
He's got his knee drained. His shoulder got messed up from sleeping wrong. He's pitched 2 innings, like you said, in big league action in like 4 months.
Yeah, since May 18th.
And all of a sudden, we're just expecting Michael King to go out there and look like the Michael King in game 1 of the wild card series against Atlanta last year.
In 7 innings?
I mean, talk about wishful thinking.
Well, and maybe you don't need that still with your bullpen without Jason Adam, but you still need him to be good. You're not just trying to cover innings. Like, you're not trying to close your eyes with Michael King out there. Like, please be okay. We need to get you through 4 innings so we can turn over to this bullpen.
You can't baby this. I mean, you got to push him. And he's got to go out there and he's got to battle and he's got to be pushed and he can't be babied.
Yeah, but what if he's pushed and then, hey, I've been dealing with a knee because I was trying to get back quick and now I got to go back in the IL.
And the subplot of this whole thing is like, how do you think Michael King feels knowing he's going to be a free agent?
Man, that's a really good question.
Because the last thing that I'd want to do if I'm Michael King is go back out there and hurt myself even more. Pull a Musgrove situation like last year. Now, the difference is like Musgrove was fine. He got his big contract. Michael King hasn't gotten it yet. What's going to happen there? It's something that you got to think about if you're Michael King.
So what do you think, though? If you're, I hear what you're saying. We're going to hear from Mike Shildt in 1 second. I just sent Brent about 4.5 minutes of Mike Shildt.
Oh, glorious!
So we'll play it here because then we have Annie coming up at 5, and we have these Lil Wayne tickets to give away.
Lil Wayne.
But if you're Michael King, let's say it was slow played or you're not 100%. You end up in the offseason and you just didn't show anything from May 18th on. What is that going to buy you?
He's done enough to get a contract.
No, get a contract, certainly. But like, what impact does it have?
I don't think it has any. I think the only...
It doesn't have any, but Dylan Cease's poor year has a big impact?
Well, yeah, because Dylan Cease is actually healthy and he's stinking up the joint.
But Michael King's not healthy and that's going to be seen as just glossed over?
I think if I were to have to choose between those 2 pitchers to give a big time contract to, I would choose Michael King over Dylan Cease. Even with Michael King's injuries this year. A knee problem and a shoulder injury whatever he injured by sleeping wrong.
Yeah.
I would give him the bigger money. I would give him the money over Dylan Cease because at least he has shown in the postseason that he can be reliable.
True. But do you get a massive deal out of this?
Look on the other side. What if he goes out there and he just pitches lights out in the postseason?
That's a different conversation, obviously.
Then he's
got to do that.
Huge contract.
Now, of course, I would agree with you, but he's got to go do that. And I don't know if it's realistic or not.
I just think a lot of things hinge on if Michael King is healthy or not. And we've talked about this before. Like we said it about a month ago. Like if Michael King doesn't return, they're not going deep in the postseason.
All right. I want to hear from Mike Shildt. This starts with Jason Adam and the injury. Let's listen to him.
Yeah, I mean, Jason spoke to everybody, and unfortunately, he got a tear in that. Exactly what we thought yesterday, and medical team and team doctors looked at, and the MRI looked like it confirmed. And it's clearly unfortunate he's handled like the pro he is, and disappointed, but going to be there for his teammates like Joe Musgrove.
He's going to have surgery tomorrow, is what he told us. Is that your expectation? And then what's the timeline, best you can tell, for an injury like that?
Yeah, he's going to have surgery tomorrow morning, and they're saying it's a 6 to 9 month window that, based on the healing process, as most surgeons will know when they get in there tomorrow how it looks and determine what the recovery is. But you got a motivated, young, healthy athlete, so usually those go pretty well.
You don't want to lose a guy like Adam, but the bullpen is the strength. A lot of multiple pieces impacting the back on the bullpen. Talk about just like absorbing the loss with the great arms that you still have available.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a really strong bullpen. It's a huge, blow to it. We're going to miss Jason. He's been him and Suarez and, of course, Morejon and Estrada over the last year plus have been, great for us. And, but we do have other guys, and that have pitched really well. I mean, we've got, Miller obviously getting him as a huge help. And, of course, Suarez and Estrada been great all year, one of the better guys in the league. And, of course, then you also have Morejon and Wandy had a good year. David Morgan stepped up, and, Yuki's done his part. So we got some really guys that we know are going to be able to contribute for us.
Fernando back in the lineup. Any clarity on what was doing with yesterday and how he's doing today?
He's back in the lineup. Texted him after the game, and he's ready to go.
So I know you didn't do any testing, just was like a 1 day just with a soreness he was doing?
I mean, not only testing. I mean, clearly we do, check his flexibility, all the different things that take place, and his strength and all that, and his hydration. And, he was just sore yesterday, and it was really more of an abundance of caution than anything else with the, travel and travel day and the fact how much he's played this year.
How big to get Jackson Merrill back in the lineup?
It's great. I'm really excited for Jackson to be back. He's clearly a big part of the club and, brings a lot of different things and excited to have Jackson back in there. And, to the expense of, we got a lot of really talented left-handed hitters. So we now have, makes the bench a little stronger, and we'll use, we'll use the lineup and move guys around and get some guys off their feet.
This bullpen is uniquely equipped to deal with Boston because obviously it's not something you want. But given just how deep the high leverage options are, and then how deep the kind of excellent caliber options are.
Yeah, I think we're equipped to do it. I mean, it's a strength, right? But you don't want to deplete your strengths. But I think we can't absorb the blow. The one thing that's been, I don't know if a luxury is the right word, for a lack of a better word, a luxury to have, the 5 guys that have pitched, now 4, but, is the ability to, know where you can pick a lane and knowing you're going to have somebody for the next day. So when we get in these situations again, which will happen soon, where, you're winning multiple games in a row, it's relative to be how deep the starting pitching goes, but then having the availability that next day for that big inning and then keeping guys fresh, which was a real, like I said, a luxury we were able to do. But now in the silo, yes, everybody's fresh, ready to go, grow. Then the bullpen's still deep. Now it's just a matter of, other guys stepping up and taking some of those spots that, get created over a course of a 162-game schedule. That help? Okay.
How did Michael Keane come out of his side session yesterday, and what's next for you?
Michael came out well. He felt good today, which was a big indicator. Yesterday was a good day for him. He was able to throw aside, take a break from his side, do some aerobic activity, and then finish with some pitches in the bullpen. He's going to get another side, and then there's a good chance, I won't put it in pen, but there's a good chance that he comes through that side that he'll have an opportunity to pitch for us.
Oh, a good chance, but not in pen.
All right. We'll react to that in the 5 o'clock hour. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT will join us at 5. Call right now if you want 2 free tickets to see Lil Wayne. A week from tomorrow night at the North Island Chula Vista Amphitheater. We have 2 free tickets. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. First 2 callers to 877-767-4760 will be our contestants for trivia. If you want those 2 free tickets to see Lil Wayne, call 877-767-4760. Call right now. It's a great prize.
Lil Wayne.
Great giveaway.
Lil Wayne.
That's right. 877-767-4760. This is 2 free tickets to see
Lil Wayne
on September 10th at the North Island Chula Vista Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. If you want those free tickets, call right now. 877-767-4760. Annie Heilbrunn at 5 p.m. This is Jon and Jim.
Lil Wayne.
All right, hey guys, it is Schaefer, and there's no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer with new vehicles arriving daily, including their most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, hurry into your Toyota dealer today, or make sure to head to Toyota.com if you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota. There you can check out all the latest offers, search inventory. Finding the Toyota that's just right for you starts at Toyota.com. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles helps to create a greener planet. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup supports a greener planet with a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and fully electric vehicles, or take each day further than you thought possible. And a new Camry with its stylish looks that'll make an impression wherever you go. See your Toyota dealer today and discover what makes Camry legendary. There's no better time than now to get your local Toyota dealer. Get your local Toyota dealer today or Toyota.com. That's Toyota.com. Your Toyota dealers, we make it easy. All right, Annie Heilbrunn's going to join us at 5. We'll get to Trainwreck Radio trivia momentarily. But Jim, did you have any reaction to Mike Shildt there? He was with the media, breaking down tonight's game, talking about what's next for Michael King, not willing to put in pen that his next start would be next week with the Padres, but he's optimistic on Michael.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway, because being non-committal to a guy that we thought was going to be returning in this series, now pushed back to the Red series. And that's not even like a guarantee. It's not set in stone. That's the concerning part. If Michael King does not make a start by next Tuesday at the latest, I'm officially concerned. Now I'm still kind of concerned just because it's taken this long. But if he is not back on the mound and throwing for the Padres next Tuesday at the latest, we might have some problems.
Completely agree. And they can sell it and spin it. And
they'll sell it and spin it like the best of them.
And again, we said, remember when he had the knee, by the way, the knee was drained. They're like, oh, it's going to be the minimum stint. I'm like, really? You're going to have your knee drained and pitch 10 days later?
It hasn't been the minimum.
It's going to be a month. When did he go on the IL? When was the knee drain? When was the day he missed a start? Because wasn't he a scratch?
It was August 14th. So that was that off day. We were at Snapdragon Stadium for Fan Fest.
Like, everything's great.
He was scheduled to pitch at Dodger Stadium on Friday night, and he got put on the IL at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. I think that was.
No, going into the show, 2 p.m.
2 p.m. on August 14th. He got his knee drained earlier that week because he made a start on Saturday the 9th.
Heading into that show, we're like, man, this is great. Padres are in first place. They're healthy.
Yeah.
Since then,
They swept the Giants.
Think about that. Since then, King, Bogarts, Merrill,
Tatis,
but back,
Adam.
Since that moment.
Yeah.
Can't predict health.
And by the way, that was what's here? 1, 2, 3, 4.
It'll be 4 weeks.
About 4.5 weeks.
By the time he returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So minimum stint my ass.
Yeah, it's not gonna be 10 days. It's gonna be 4+ weeks. All right. Annie Heilbrunn's gonna join us in 10 minutes, but right now, let's get to this.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants, we have Travis and we have Eddie. Travis, you called in first, so you have your choice of Jon or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
Let's go Jon.
All right, Travis and Jon. Eddie, you get Jim, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, perfect. Brent, what's the question of the day?
No.
Sorry.
All right, Travis and Eddie, sounds like a sitcom waiting to happen. All right, guys, coming into today's game, the Padres were 29th in Major League Baseball in home runs. There's only 30 teams with 119. Today's question, name any of the top 7 home run hitting teams in Major League Baseball this season. So we're just looking for the top 7 teams this year in home runs.
All right. Eddie, you're up first. What is your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Yankees.
The Yankees. Good guess. Travis, you're up next. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Let's go Dodgers.
The Doyers.
When you said let's go Dodgers, were you saying like I'm picking Dodgers or are you a Dodger fan?
No, he's picking the Dodgers, Jon.
Absolutely not. Hate the Dodgers.
Okay. How'd you know, Jim?
I felt it in my
Okay, I wasn't sure.
bones.
Okay.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah.
Eddie, you're up
You got it.
next. What is your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Lifeline.
Lifeline. Okay.
Lifeline.
Why did I just draw a blank? Top
Because
7.
someone asked you a question.
I know. I just drew a blank on this.
Niners.
I'm like, the Saints? No, let's go. That's wow, I'm such an idiot. Let's go the Phillies. Come on. Give me the Phillies. Do you take that?
How about I'm thinking Cal O'Reilly. I'm gonna go Mariners.
Mariners. Okay.
And Mariners.
All right. On the
Top
list.
7 Mariners.
Okay.
Wow.
Good job, Eddie. Travis, back to you. What's your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
We'll go Red Sox.
Red Sox. No. Eddie, back to you. You could walk off with the correct answer here. What is your final guess? You do not have a lifeline, so it's all up to you.
Mets.
The Mets?
Nobody likes your guess.
No one likes
Mets
my guess.
for the win?
Yeah. Mets for the win.
Phillies have to be on that list. Have to.
Is that your lifeline?
Yes. Jim, you're an idiot.
Well, Eddie's very smart for not listening to me.
Wow. All right, Eddie.
Yeah.
Congrats. You're going to see
Lil Wayne.
That's right. Coming up September 10th at the North Island the North Island Chula Vista Amphitheater.
Oh.
Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Brian, who do we miss? Who is on this list?
All right, Yankees are number 1, then the Doyers. The Mariners are 3. Arizona is number 4. Then the LA Angels of Anaheim, believe it or not, they're 5. And then get this. Well, remember who they play, where they play. Oakland / Vegas / Sacramento / California A's, they're 6th. And then the Mets. We're 7th.
That was 7th. Who was 8th? Philadelphia?
The Cubs. The Cubs are only 1 off of the Mets.
Who was 9th? Phillies?
No.
Who was
The Phillies were 10th.
Okay.
And Boston was 11th.
And you said Padres are 29th?
Yes. The only team with less home runs than them this year is the Pirates. Yeah.
Oh, man.
By the way, remember the good news? Pirates were up 4-0.
Yeah, what happened?
It's 4-4.
Not so fast.
The Dodgers have hit 100 home runs since then. Pa has just hit one. Otani's hit one.
Otani took a 99-mile-per-hour pitch on the inside part of the plate. He turned on that thing, hit that 120 miles per hour out. What?
Dude.
Excuse me?
Like you said, it's 50-50 season was overrated.
Well, not the 50 stolen bases was overrated.
Not
Not,
necessarily
not the
home
50
runs.
home runs.
All right, Annie Heilbrunn from the UT is going to join us on the other side as the Padres look to pick up the pieces. They've lost 6 of 8. They've lost Jason Adam. We just heard from Mike Shildt, but Annie Heilbrunn is down at Petco. She's going to join us to react to it all. Can the Padres turn things around for their final 24 games, beginning tonight against the Orioles again in game 2 of this 3-game series? Of course, we have Jim's back page coming up, but we've got one full hour for you coming up at 5 p.m. We're here until 6. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT will join us on the other side to get us ready for tonight and to look back in the injuries as well impacting the Padres. So Annie Heilbrunn to kick off hour number 4 of Jon and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. That's next.
This update is brought to you by eBay. Padres and Orioles, game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at Petco Park. 6:40 first pitch. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. Jason Adam was placed on the 15-day IL. His season is over with a torn quad. Alec Jacob has been recalled to the active roster. And SDFC on Sunday night continued their road winning streak, beating LAFC 2-1. They have now won 7 consecutive road matches. Next up, they'll take on Minnesota at home next Saturday here at Snapdragon Stadium. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at the prices you love. eBay, things people love.
Your favorite pair, Jon and Jim.
I really don't know where you really turn right now. Like, I don't know what we're waiting for. Are we waiting for them to look like the 14-3 team from 2 weeks ago? Are we waiting for them to get healthy? Waiting for the Dodgers to slip up? What are we waiting for? It's just a weird time.
It is a weird time because they have these injuries, and you kind of wish that they had more time to get healthier.
Now, live from the San Diego Sports 760 studios, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim, and always our pleasure to kick it off with a friend of the show, Annie Heilbrunn from the UT, back with us right now on Jon and Jim. Now, Annie, hopefully your health is good because everyone else down at Petco Park has been going through it. So, first of all, how are you? Thanks for hopping on. Hope you're doing well.
I am great, Jon and Jim. It's great to be on with you guys. And let me tell you, I did have to stand in the sun for over an hour on the field, and so I'm in a little bit of heat stroke. I don't know if that qualifies for an IL stint, but you know what? We're just going to push through. You got it. Next man up, you know?
Next man up. I agree with that. Turn your mic on.
All right, we'll call Darnay.
No, stop.
I'm kidding.
No, we're good. We're good. You know what?
Yeah.
I can handle it, guys.
All right, perfect.
Darnay,
Push
stand
through
down.
it. Push through it. We like it.
Okay, so I guess let's just start with their injuries. Like, covering, observing, if you look at it from a fan perspective, I mean, just how concerning is it? It's one thing to deal with an injury. Every team deals with it. It just feels like they've piled up. It's at a bad time. We know Jason Adam isn't coming back. I guess the question is, can it be overcome?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really good question to entertain as the weeks go on, because they are in still, I think, a decent spot. I mean, like you just said, every team goes through this, and some teams much more so than the Padres have had to go through this season. I mean, that's the first big injury that's happened in their bullpen, the first like real missed time injury. They've been pretty fortunate in that injury area for the bullpen. And now you look at those moves that AJ Preller made at the deadline, and even though you are a big man down there, and of course, Jason Adam makes that bullpen better and makes the whole machinations of everything, that all the options that Shildt has every night, makes it longer and deeper. But getting Mason Miller and being able to utilize some other pieces of that bullpen now, a very good idea, and might be like the saving grace for them, honestly. Like, it might end up being something that you look back on and think, what if they had it in light of this injury? What if they hadn't gotten Mason Miller? That said, you still can't ride that bullpen to death. And although they're doing well, this is the time of year, and I was just talking to some coaches and players about it. You know, everybody feels it here right now, you know, like just the energy's a little down. It's the dog days. I know it's September, the calendar page turned, but they are very aware that they're not playing their best baseball right now, you know, and it's like you start to kind of press a little bit. You start to try to force things. At the same time, you don't want to get too ahead of yourself and looking toward the postseason, because these games still matter. And I don't think that they are doing that, but I think that that's a lot of the talk around them. And, you know, they're human. They hear it. So I do think it's an interesting time. They're still pretty far ahead of the Reds. I want to say like 6 games. So I don't think it's a matter of them like slipping out of a playoff contention spot. Now, it's still possible. And in baseball, we know anything's possible anytime. But it would take them having like a massive collapse and the Reds having the September of their life, or the Diamondbacks or something like that, in order to kind of like move someone out of that playoff, those playoff spots. So, but they could lose home field advantage for sure. That might not be as detrimental as people think. I know they haven't been good on the road this year, but they have had success on the road in playoff games. And the division that was still in play for them, how much of that is reality now? I think it's getting harder. But at the same time, the Dodgers aren't exactly killing it either, right? So I think there's still a long way to go, as weird as that sounds, with a month left. But the injury is definitely something to keep an eye on, especially Fernando Tatis Jr. is in the lineup tonight. But, how healthy is he? Jackson Merrill, I guess, being put in as a pinch runner should tell me that he feels pretty good on his ankle. But that ankle, I wouldn't say it's completely healed. Like, I feel like he's still going to be working through something with that ankle. So something to watch for sure.
Yeah, and balancing the fact that you need to get these guys as healthy as possible for the postseason, while also trying to compete and win for a division. You're kind of playing the sides here of like, what's more beneficial for us? Do we want to go all out here and have guys go out there and play if they're not 100% to go try to win the division, or we want to err on the side of caution to make sure that we're the healthiest we can be going into a postseason run? And now they won't be as healthy as they can be because they lost Jason Adam. But, with the nicks and bruises to Merrill and to Tatis and to Bogarts with the broken foot, what side do you think this team should land on here going into a postseason stretch?
I think you want to be somewhat conservative, but not too conservative. And the reason I think that you don't want to change too much up is because they're such creatures of habit and routine. If they're not playing well, the last thing they want is a day off. And yes, you do have to be the dad sometimes and be like, you're taking a day off. But I think for these players, they want to feel like they're playing their best heading into October. They don't want to feel like they're playing their worst. And so you're seeing guys that are trying to get back into a rhythm, trying to get back into something. And there's that balance of like how will sitting benefit them and how will just letting them kind of work through it benefit them? Because most of the time they just want to work through it. But I do think, Jim, I really do think like when you are up by a lot of runs, when you are down by a lot of runs, when the game seems out of hand either way, you need to start resting some of your starters. You need to take them off the field, off the feet, because absolutely it is going to be a balance where you don't want them like on fumes. The postseason, if you can get past that wild card, assuming the Padres would play it, there are like off days now in the division and the championship. It looks like where they're not going to be like back to back days in October. But yeah, you definitely want you want two things. You want them feeling good and you want their confidence up. And I think also the hard part about that starting rotation right now and the fact that those guys cannot go deep in games right now, and then they let up a lot of runs early, has got this offense kind of feeling a little, like I said, forcing things a little or a little too far behind the eight ball. But that too, like, they know there's no excuses. Like, what happens if you get into that in a postseason game, or that's the game that you have that the division's on the line? Like, you're going to have to figure out a way to overcome some of these starting pitcher struggles, right? So there's a lot on their plates right now. But yeah, if they want to be a championship team, they're going to have to figure out a way to get past some of these challenges.
There's no question about it. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT with us right now on Jon and Jim. And then there's Manny Machado. And we don't, he's healthy, right? He plays every single day, but you look at the way in which he's playing right now, Annie, it's surprising.
Yeah.
He had put together 4 really solid months. He was having one of his better years as a Padre, one of his better years in the major leagues. And I mean, the numbers would suggest the wheels have kind of fallen off. Now we've seen him turn it around, but we talk about all these injuries and, you got to stay healthy. But another point to be made is you need Manny Machado to look like Manny Machado if you're going to win a World Series or vie for one. And that's just not playing out right now, right?
Yeah. And it's a good point. And so Manny's never 100% truthful about his injuries.
Yep.
I do think he's hinted at a few things over the last few weeks. Body's feeling he's feeling it a little in the body. He joked a little bit about August, how throughout his career, he's never been able to figure out August. And so you would think, hey, for him, sometimes it's mental. The calendar page turns, it's September. And guys have talked about this. In fact, last year they talked about this, like the second half, not really changing anything leading into the playoffs because they just wanted to be playing the kind of baseball that they believed in heading into the playoffs. It's not like you don't really want to be like flipping a switch. You want the switch to already be flipped and guys feeling that rhythm and that confidence, and then you're just rolling into October. So it's a really good point. I mean, that's their mentality. And so that's why I do think you see like some of that forcing, like you're trying to get that because you know how important it is. But that being said, like if he found it and whatever that mythical it is, if he found it, right, the last 2 weeks, even the last week, and he got hot then, and then was able to ride that into October, well, no one's complaining about that, right? But it is a question of, is there something that is more wrong with him that we know about? It's pure speculation on my part to say that, but everyone's dealing with something this time of year. I wouldn't be surprised to learn Manny's dealing with a little something too. And then I think some of it just gets to be that pressing at the plate after that. But yeah, he doesn't look like himself. And I think all it takes is 1 or 2 good games, a little bit of a routine, and he starts to look very much like Manny Machado again. But he's got to kind of lock back into that somewhere here in September.
I feel like for the last 2-3 weeks or so, there's been a lot of questionable decisions from Mike Shildt. And even in the second half here, Annie, I mean, this team loves, and I mean loves, and you know where I'm going with this. They love to lay down sacrifice bunts. They love to bunt guys over. I mean, the definition of small ball, if you just look it up, it's the San Diego Padres in 2025 right now. What do you make of how Mike Shildt has managed and the moves that he's made over the last couple of weeks? I feel like, the team is pressing, but I could also make an argument that Mike Shildt is pressing as well.
A little bit. I think he has been a little bit. I think everyone's feeling a little bit of pressure of expectation, which is so new for this franchise and this team and this organization, where, the last couple of times in the playoffs, it feels like monopoly money, like you're just winning the lotto, like, oh man, like we're finally doing it. We're getting in the playoffs. Like we got a chance here. And now this year, especially, it's back-to-back playoff years, and with the moves that they've made and the guys that they've signed and the way that they went in at the trade deadline, there is, and also let me just add the sellouts, the fans showing up every single night. I do think that there has become this weight of expectation that can be a good thing. It can be a great thing and lift, make a players lift up and be better. But it depends on how that's being kind of shown to them as well. Like, and that's not just the coaching staff. That's the entire organization. Like, is there a pressing? Is there a pressure? Is there a tension? Is there something that they sometimes feel? And again, I think I'm giving the players too much credit here. I really don't think that they're thinking about all this. The players are mostly just thinking about how they can get a hit that night. They're not thinking about, but I think subconsciously some of that does start to kind of weigh down a little bit, and you start to feel it a little bit. And it's something that they just haven't had a whole lot of lately. And it is something that's real this year. But going back to that other first question, there's a phrase that Fernando Tatis Jr. used earlier this year, and I'm going to mess it up, and it's not the one that Mike Shildt always references, which is do what the game tells you. It is he who kills with the sword gets killed by the sword, or something. And he was referencing Fernando it was a Dominican saying that when he robs people of home runs, sometimes he gets robbed of a home run, and it's and it sounded a lot better when Fernando said it in Spanish, but anyway.
I like it.
And I feel that way about Mike Shildt. It's like, this is the way they've made their offense. And it's either going to, like, they're going to kill with it through a terrible metaphor now, but throughout the postseason, or they're going to get killed by it, and it's going to be one or the other there, because I don't think you can change much at this point. Could something magical happen if they make it to October and all of a sudden guys are hitting for slug more? There's just a different feel to their offense. That could happen, because baseball's weird and who knows what could happen, right? And that could definitely happen. But if they are having to play some small ball in the postseason, it's either going to be this amazing thing that gets talked about nationally. Look at this team. It's like the 2015 Royals. Look what they're able to do, or it's going to be they get killed by the slug, or they get killed some other way, So it could be either one of those. It could be nothing of those. It could be their starting pitching. Who knows? But I don't think that they're at a point in the beginning of September, where they can really force much to change. If it happens naturally, great. But I don't think they can force a whole lot to go differently. And I do feel that, Mike is probably feeling a little bit of wanting to get some wins, and kind of forcing that to happen too.
It's just kind of crazy. You're sack bunting against the Twins in the first inning, or against the Orioles in the second inning. It's like, I get it. That might be your path to winning the postseason, but just play. I mean, you're playing the Orioles and the Twins. Like, you don't need to give up outs in the first and second inning, right?
And Mike Shildt talks about, it's such a great point. Mike Shildt talks about, hey, he manages every game like it's game 7. And I get it, John. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Sometimes you don't need to manage the Twins and the Orioles like it's game 7. And guys don't need to be thinking about small ball. Just let them go up there. And I don't know if it's now been so ingrained in these hitters of like, be unselfish, do what the game tells you, etc., which is great. That is a great attitude to have. But I also cringe sometimes when when Fernando comes up and bless him, Fernando. I know it's been a hard year, and the guy can lay down a good bunt or a sack fly like the best of them. But sometimes I am like, Fernando, just hit the ball. You know, like don't worry about the bunt, don't worry about the sack
Swing
fly.
away.
Like,
yeah, I'm sorry. Like Fernando Tatis Jr. could be an 0 for 6. You better not be squaring to bunt. I mean, that's insane. It's insane.
But then again, if it means that they win a game 4-3 or 5-4, then who am I to say it's the wrong? It's hard. It's a hard balancing act for sure.
Annie, we always appreciate you. Great perspective, great coverage for our listeners in the UT. Thanks for doing it. We'll do it again at some point in September. Be well. All right.
Love it, guys. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
Wear sunscreen. Annie Heilbrunn from the UT. I mean, she's right. Of course you want to win, but I was almost going to be like, it's like be a man. Like I'd rather like swing away and lose.
Here's the thing.
Not really, but
you can win that game by having Fernando or someone lay down some sack bunts. It's like the saying that we have all the time: you lose a battle to win a war, type of thing. But in this case, it's: are you going to be sacrificing Tatis's rhythm and his confidence by making him go lay down sack bunts, or do you want to get this guy going, let him swing away, see if he can get some pop? Again, he doesn't have any pop right now, but you get my point.
It's a weird spot. We're going to react to a conversation with Andy on the other side. We're here until 6 p.m. We're getting you ready for Padres and Orioles. Game 2 of a 3-game series at Petco Park coming up at 6:40. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Kevin Acee will join us tomorrow right here on Jon and Jim. We'll react to the Padres-Orioles series.
That should be fun.
An afternoon game tomorrow between the Pods and the O's. You know what Jackson Merrill said yesterday? Kind of lost in the shuffle today. I know he was being facetious. I know we don't have the audio, but he said, I'll play short. His words, not those words, but he said he'd play short.
Now, they're not going to play him at shortstop.
Now, again, the reason it's actually like a talking point is A, Bogarts, and B, Iglesias like doesn't have a hit since he's been out, and C, now Mason McCoy is your starting shortstop. So you've gone from, I guess it's true. They had no backup shortstop.
No. You know who actually was out on the market recently, but he got claimed off waivers?
Who?
You didn't see this?
I may have. Who are you going to tell me?
Ha-Seong Kim.
Oh, yeah. He got claimed by, don't tell me. Atlanta.
Correct. Reunited with Jerks and Profar.
Now, anything?
I don't know, but he was claimed by the Braves. My guess is, well, not my guess. I know that he didn't even get to the Padres because of the waiver order.
Right, claims order. But he's been awful. Now, maybe you capture lightning here. But he was hitting 214 and 84 at bats. He's done nothing. I mean, literally nothing. 71 OPS plus. Kind of like he's like a Jose Iglesias.
Well, who'd you rather have, him or Mason McCoy?
Him.
Exactly.
Who would you rather have, him or Iglesias? Some people here would tell you Kim.
I would say Iglesias. Because defensively, I think he'd be the best option.
Then Kim?
Yeah.
Maybe now. Kim is like, he's got 15 WAR. Why? 15 career WAR because of his defense.
But we've seen Jose Iglesias this year play defense. He's been incredible. I haven't seen what Ha-Seong Kim's looked like recently defensively.
You know what's crazy? Ha-Seong Kim.
I thought it was interesting.
It's interesting. Here's what's crazy though. Ha-Seong Kim 29, Iglesias 35. Kim has a higher career WAR.
Wow.
So Kim's defense is played in the major leagues. That's what the stats will tell you. He's been paid. Here, I mean, he's been seen as an everyday player in the major leagues. He was by the Padres for 4 years.
When is Jose Iglesias' concert at Petco Park?
The OMG show?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
This should have been in our...
Hopefully after October.
I think it might be on the 4th. No. Wait, when is it? I know it's like soon.
I mean, it's an actual concert.
Yeah, you didn't know about this?
With actual people?
OMG concert, Jose...
Maybe that'll get him going.
My question was going to be, will Jose Iglesias have a hit by the time of his concert?
Is he playing that night or does he need to like do sound check and stuff? I assume it's a Padres off day.
It's got to be a Padres off day. But I'm like,
well, I'm looking at their schedule. There's only one off day when they're at home the rest of the year. So it has to be that day at the end of September.
All right, I got it right here. So
let me guess, it's that day.
September 24th.
Which is their one off day this year when they're at home.
No, it's not. They play the Brewers at 1:10 in the afternoon.
So they're playing that day and then he's performing that night?
Will he have a hit by that concert?
Yeah,
my guess is yes, but
he will, dude.
Look, he hasn't had a hit in 3 games since Bogarts went down.
I was saying that, like, hey, Kim's numbers are terrible. Iglesias' numbers are actually worse.
Yeah, Iglesias is awful at the plate.
It's not even really that close. He's got 558 OPS.
Oh, wait, sorry. It's September 25th, not September 24th. My bad.
So it's an off day.
It's an off day, yeah.
Okay.
September 25th.
Well, maybe that'll turn his season around.
There's nothing like having a guy perform a concert at your stadium on your team that has an OPS under 600. That's hitting 200.
558.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the skepticism, I guess, made a lot of sense. I mean, a year ago with the Mets, he hit for average. And
look,
that
if you're
was
hitting,
a moment
if you're
in time.
hitting 280 with a 750 OPS, you can have a concert. But if you got an OPS under 600,
you think that's in the deal for the concert? It says, listen, if your OPS is under 600 by September 25th, the show is canceled. Who's bought tickets? Or is it free?
There are no tickets are on sale.
They're on sale.
Yeah.
Is it just for Gallagher Square or is it the whole stadium?
No. It's just Gallagher Square.
Imagine 45,000 people to watch Jose Iglesias.
Why?
Final day of the regular season. I have no idea. But I guess the point is they don't have any options at shortstop.
I mean, really? Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just old man yelling at clouds with
But,
this.
I mean, is it that dumb of an idea for people to throw around like Merrill?
I think it's a dumb idea.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it never happened with Shildt.
God, no.
I mean, it would never happen with Shildt.
Now, look, if you're looking for the best optimal lineup, okay, Jackson Merrill at shortstop would do it.
So you like it,
but it's not going to happen.
No, it'll never.
Just like I'm not going to go get a lottery ticket and win $1 billion. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even worth entertaining because there's no way.
No.
Especially knowing that they think Xander Bogaerts is coming back. So you're going to go move Jackson.
You know where this is seriously entertained is on Padres Facebook.
I mean, I agree. I seriously entertained in our live stream on the wrap-up show.
But I'm not entertained in it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be out there this year. I agree with that. All right, we'll
How
continue.
stupid would that be? Hey, by the way, you haven't played a game at short at the big leagues. You haven't played at shortstop in over 2.5 years. Let's go put you at short in a pennant race.
I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but you know my theory on defense. I want the optimized lineup. But again, it's not happening. It's not happening until tomorrow. All right, we will continue to get you ready for Padres and Orioles coming up tonight. It's game 2 of this, again, 3-game series. They'll wrap it up tomorrow afternoon. Jim's back. Page is ahead as well. This is Jon and Jim. Stay with us.
This update's brought to you by eBay. Padres Orioles game 2 of their 3-game series. 6:40 first pitch at Petco Park. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr. back in the lineup today, along with Jackson Merrill. Jason Adam has been placed on the 15-day IL, but his season is officially over. Alec Jacob has been recalled to the active roster. And Sunday night, SDFC picked up another road win. It's their 7th in a row on the road, beating LAFC 2-1 up in LA. Next up, they'll return home next Saturday night as they'll take on Minnesota at 7:30 at Snapdragon Stadium. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it with eBay. You find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
San Diego State back Saturday night. Be on the road taking on Washington State. Pregame coverage at 5:15. Kickoff at 7:15 right here in your home for the Aztecs. San Diego Sports 760. Week 1 of college football in the books, by the way. That means like they played week 1 of college football, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 teams in the top 10 lost. 2 were guaranteed to lose because they played each other. There were multiple top 10 matchups. Ohio State is now number 1. Shocking. After winning the national championship last year, they beat number 1 Texas at the Horseshoe. What was the biggest week 1 surprise or storyline coming out of it?
It was that Lee Corso picked every single one of his picks correctly.
That's right.
His final college game day.
That's right.
Ever.
Highest rated game day ever.
What, 5 million?
Over 5 million viewers, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, for a pregame show.
Yeah, and imagine if the game was a little later so the West Coast could watch it, because at West Coast time it was like 9 a.m., 9-ish a.m.,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah.
That's a crazy number.
I was looking forward to that game, Texas Ohio State. I wasn't thrilled by it.
No.
I mean, watch it. It was just it was good defense. Nothing really happened.
Yeah, I was expecting more fireworks.
And then the other top 10 game, nothing really happened. That was LSU and Clemson.
Mhm.
LSU won at Clemson. I was surprised that Notre Dame lost to Miami in a top 10 matchup. Trying to think what else. I mean, Alabama, that is very underwhelming. You do wonder, like at Alabama, can you survive back-to-back quote unquote down years?
No, Kalen DeBoer would be fired.
So he's fired if what? They're out of the playoff?
Actually, I don't know if they would fire him because his buyout is crazy.
But they'll have someone write that off. There's someone that can pay for that. What's the bare minimum? Making the playoff?
The bare minimum is making
the playoff. I think so, probably at Alabama. Which they still could very well do.
You miss the playoffs at Alabama
when it's expanded.
Especially this is now kind of your team. You had some players return last year that were Saban guys.
Yep.
This is now your team. And you got a quarterback that's playing for you and starting for you that the previous regime had no faith in.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got a you just, especially in Alabama, the standard is set so high that if you don't meet it, it's you're in trouble.
I always thought the guy that follows Saban, that's not where you want to be.
You want to be the guy that follows the guy.
In Kalen DeBoer, everything was rolling.
I know. You should stay to Washington.
Was rolling. They're playing for a national championship. I get it. It's hard to maybe say no to Alabama. All that money, all those resources, all that success. But what are you going to do? Win 5 national championships? They'll still be well, he's not Nick Saban. I mean, there's no winning.
You'll never be Nick Saban. Sometimes the grass isn't always greener. The money, obviously, it's an upgrade.
Of course.
But at the same time, you're not going to be there for the long haul. I'm sorry. And you'll never be Nick Saban. And you'll never, ever, ever be at that level. Even if you do win a national championship, it will always be, Saban
won 5.
Yeah, Saban has 5, so you got to win 6.
Bear Bryant's got this many.
You'll never be that guy.
Basically an impossible.
You could have been a legend at Washington, and you chose to be the shadow, which will be completely forgotten behind Nick Saban.
Yeah, probably true.
I think it might have been different if it would have been the Florida State team from 2 years ago that went 10-2 opposed to last year's that, went 2-10 that went in there and beat them, to where everyone, because my neighbor that watches Peanuts sometimes, she's a big Alabama fan, and she's like, oh, Florida State, they were really bad last year. They're no good anymore. This shouldn't be any problem for us. And I haven't seen her since Saturday.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then obviously the other storyline, not Nick Saban, Bill Belichick getting completely embarrassed in his first game in college football. But overall, good weekend, John?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I guess so. I mean, I watched a lot of it. I don't know what my expectations were. I mean, I was optimistic because of what happened on Thursday with San Diego State, just getting off on the right foot, and excited to see what happens this upcoming weekend against Washington State. I sat around Saturday night. I was passed out. I could not keep my eyes open. And then I see Idaho come back from 10-0 down to tie it. I'm like, I can't go to sleep.
Of course.
And I think I was rooting for Washington State to win because I'm thinking to myself, from an Aztec perspective, do you want Washington State angry? Like, wouldn't they be angry if they lost to Idaho at home? But then again, they won in like last second fashion, and maybe that gives them a little bit of momentum. So I think it's going to be a very good game this weekend.
I think you and our resident bro, Bernie Wilson, might be the only people in San Diego watching Idaho football.
Probably true. I think there were people watching because the Aztecs were playing Washington State. I wasn't watching for Idaho. I was watching for Washington State. And I do think, in just like preparing for this game this weekend, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's a huge opportunity. I think they'll be in the game. I'm talking about San Diego State. And you win that game, again, if you win that game, you've put yourself in a really good spot. You have that signature that you've been looking for Sean Lewis, and you have a little bit of momentum heading into a bye week before you play Cal at home. And by the way, Cal in week 1 was one of the biggest stories of the week. They dominated Oregon State on the road behind a true freshman quarterback who was absolutely terrific. So that will not be an easy game either.
What'd you think of Fresno State, Georgia Southern?
I watched 0 seconds.
Wow.
Was it on?
Actually, I did flip on it. I did.
What channel was it on?
It was on
CBS Sports Network.
No, I think it was FS1.
Fresno State, Georgia Southern was?
Either FS1 or CBS.
It may have been.
It was. I know it was on.
Okay.
Because I had it on my television for like 2 minutes on Saturday night for some reason.
That's hilarious. No, I didn't watch it.
As I was flipping through the channels, I was like, Fresno State, Georgia Southern. Let's just see what this is.
Do you think
I saw 3 plays. That was it.
Do you think Boise is cooked from the playoff by losing to an American team, like an AAC team?
Let me answer that for you.
If they won out, would they be cooked?
Boise State's cooked.
You think?
Yeah.
You might be right. You might be right. That's not a good law. I mean, because they got hammered.
What about that Washington-Colorado State game?
It was a good game. It was 21-all. I was watching Big Ten Network, third quarter, 21-all before Washington pulled away. What was the final? 38-21, maybe?
38-21.
Yeah, it was a good game. So, listen.
Nice Big Ten Pac-12 matchup.
That's exactly right. After dark. Listen, from a Pac-12 future perspective, the Boise State loss obviously doesn't sit well.
No. Here's the thing. I don't care about what the Pac-12, what the Mount West Conference is doing this year.
This year? Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sorry. I don't expect San Diego State to be vying for a playoff. I don't care how the conference does. All I care about is, can this team make that leap
right
to at minimum 6 wins to get to a bowl game and take their chances and have some good wins under their belt this year. I don't care what the Mount West does. I don't care if now they don't have a chance to make the playoff because Boise State lost their first game. Like, I just don't care.
Right. You're thinking more about through the lens of San Diego State. You're right. And if you do win 6+ games, you have momentum into 2026, and then you're trying to vie for the Pac-12 in 2026 coming out of 2025. But again, you can listen on Saturday, 7:15 will be the kick time from Pullman, Washington. The Aztecs, the Cougars. Remember last year, Aztecs had the Cougars where they wanted them. So I think an 11-point lead in the third or fourth quarter. And then John Mateer, who's going to be a Heisman candidate potentially this year, kind of pulled that game out for Washington State. They won it 29-26. Do you remember that game?
It was a good game.
Trey White had a chance to sack Mateer, and then he escaped and then ran for a first down. It was a very good game. What do you got?
Little scoreboard watch right now?
I have been doing that. Yeah, have the Pirates taken a lead?
Pirates now lead the Dodgers in the top of the 7th inning, 7-4. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th to take a 7-4 lead.
Okay.
Mets are up 11-2 on the Tigers.
Okay, that's not great.
The Blue Jays are up 10-8 on the Reds after 5.
Okay.
And the Cubbies are up 4-0 after 3 on the Braves.
Okay, so honestly, I'll take those results if the scores hold just because of the Dodgers right now. I'll just take it.
Correct.
Now, again, you could say, well, I'd prefer maybe a Mets loss and a Cubs loss and a Dodger win, but you're getting two positive. I'm still interested in the division. I get it.
Yeah.
It's hard. I get it. It's unlikely. I get it. They need to play better. But I mean, if the Dodgers lose to the Pirates, it's an if. They are not playing well.
No.
If they lose to the Pirates tonight, that continues the theme of they are not playing well.
Yeah, it's bad.
Now get your house in order, win tonight, and all of a sudden you're two back in the loss column.
Yeah.
So again, it's still in front of you. It's not going to be easy, but it's still in front of you.
Yeah, that's the first team that I look at when I scoreboard watch. What the Dodgers are doing.
Yeah. Again, if they were to fall 5 out, okay, I'll look elsewhere. But when it's 2.5, I can still look there.
5 out. I don't even care about the
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's the number. All right, Jim's back page on the other side. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, final time on Jon and Jim. We're back tomorrow, of course, at 2 p.m. Once that Padres game goes final, make sure to be here. We'll hear from Mike Shildt. Kevin Acee will join us as well. Padres Orioles wrapping up their series tomorrow afternoon at Petco.
So I'm in a little bit of a pickle.
Oh, because you have not one but two fantasy drafts, you're telling me, coming up at 6 p.m.
So this thing came up on me pretty quick.
The season?
Just no, the fantasy drafts.
They're always gonna happen before the season.
Right. But I didn't realize they'd be on the same day at the same time.
Gotcha.
So I'm in the iHeartRadio Fantasy Freaking Football League. You were in it.
What'd you call it? Fantasy Football League?
Yeah, the league is called Fantasy Freaking Football.
Oh, Fantasy Freaking.
Yeah.
What's on the line?
A good amount of money.
Good amount being how much per person?
12 teams, $100 a person. Every transaction is $3.
$100 a person?
And every transaction you make is $3.
Life must be good on Jon and Jim.
$3 for every waiver move you make?
Yeah. Just make no moves, be a man.
Yeah. So like my goal is to make as little like amount of waiver move as possible, so I don't pay a bunch of money.
So you're not trying to win the league, just trying to stay around $100?
Well, here's the thing. Last year, I think I made like 6 moves. So I paid $118 total. I remember one year, Thor, who's in our league, who's over on the show on Rock 105.3, he made like 35 moves.
I was in it. No, I was in it one year when someone made like 100 moves. I'm like, I'm done with this.
It was ridiculous.
By the way, there's
nothing.
You
owe $270.
I can't do it. I can't. It's too much. It's too much time. Too much
effort.
time.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with the auto drafts, it's gonna do it for you.
Well, I can't do an auto draft. It just wouldn't sit well with me.
But I mean, it tells you it's at the top of the.
And everyone would hate my guts if we did auto draft.
Yeah, I got you.
Because it takes 2 minutes off the clock, and everyone's got to sit there and wait for you to auto pick. And
How long have you known that you had 2 drafts on the same day?
An hour.
I think like 3 days.
So you did have time that you could have went and ordered your stuff. So if you had to auto draft, it would pick the guys you want instead of the computer grabbing you 3 kickers right away.
No, the thing was, my mistake is the league. One of the leagues that I'm in, I shouldn't be in that league anymore. Like,
is that the iHeart League?
No, it's not the iHeart League. It's another league that originally me and Aaron were doing together, but then the commissioner got mad that I was helping Aaron out or something. But we had the same team. It wasn't like we had 2 separate teams, and Aaron didn't want to be in it anymore. And somehow I got put into it with a bunch of Aaron's friends. They pick like Travis Kelce #1 overall. It's kind of a crazy league to be a part of because
well, shouldn't you be winning that league
easily
if they're picking Travis Kelce #1 overall?
Well, there's 2 other people that actually
care
or care.
What's the buy-in on that?
$50.
So you're 150 in.
I know. I don't know. I'm an idiot.
The guy that's trying to complete a Pokemon set spent 150 on fantasy football.
I know. I could have spent that money on cards.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, good luck on your draft.
Thanks.
Hopefully you win these leagues.
It's in 11 minutes.
In 11 minutes, you got 2 drafts. All right. Before your draft, let's get to this.
All right. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we missed Crumble Cookie Monday. So it just got pushed to Crumble Cookie Tuesday. Here are the Crumble Cookies of the week. Chocolate peanut butter sandwich cookie featuring Oreos and Reese's.
I see what you did there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I need one of those.
Right.
A chocolate covered strawberry cookie. A sugar cookie featuring Mother's Circus animal frosting. A Biscoff ice cream cookie. What? A caramel pumpkin cake cookie.
Wow.
A Kentucky butter cake cookie. And a semi-sweet chocolate chunk cookie. I might need to go to Crumble
on the way home
this week. No,
this week. Okay.
This week.
Oh, after the draft. Hey, Jim, what time are you coming home? I'm coming home after I go to Crumble.
One of the best parts of me doing this every week is having to watch the video package they put out
right
of all the cookies, and they look amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, nothing makes the news of you pissing away $150 on fantasy football easier than a crumble cookie.
Seriously, nothing makes it better. Just go get some crumble cookies.
They do sound good.
They do sound good. Absolutely. You'll like this, John. McDonald's.
Love McDonald's.
Is releasing a new veggie burger.
Oh, really?
On September 16th. McDonald's has announced a nationwide launch of its new McVeggie sandwich.
McVeggie.
Set to roll out across the country on September 16th.
Which country?
I feel sick already.
Is this in America?
It
says Canadians.
North America?
Oh, it's in Canada?
You're such an idiot. You get me all excited. And now I got to go to Vancouver. All across the nation. It's just not ours.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Is it Canada?
It's in the fine print.
It's Canada?
It's Canada. I didn't see it's at the very bottom here. It says Canada.
I'm sure if it does well in Canada, it'll come down here.
Oh, sorry, guys. Well, here's something that's happening in the States. Chipotle is offering a buy one, get one on their entrees on September 15th.
2024.
Chipotle in Jamaica.
Right.
Chipotle is bringing back one of its most popular promotions with a special twist tied to college football season. On Monday, September 15th, after 5 p.m. local time, customers who show up at a Chipotle's location wearing a college football jersey will be eligible for a buy one, get one free entree deal.
Okay.
No reaction?
No, I'm watching this quad box of baseball, and it's kind of interesting.
Wait, how did this fight get started?
There's like this fight between the Giants and the Rockies. I'm watching Pirates Dodgers. Say what you said again.
Wear a college football jersey to Chipotle's.
Get what?
On Chipotle on September 15th and get a buy one, get one free.
Okay.
Entree.
I'll do it. Kristen loves Chipotle. On a Monday, September 15th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So,
and that's here.
That's
stateside.
It's in the States, yeah.
Okay.
Little Caesars, John, is offering a one topping pizza for just $4.99.
Wow.
On September 14th, giving pizza lovers plenty of time to take advantage of the deal. So there you go. Little Caesars is heating up the pizza game with a limited time online deal that has fans buzzing. For a short period, customers can snag 2 large one topping pizzas for $4.99 each, a total of $9.98.
You have to buy 2 of them though.
Yeah. When they order through the chain's website or mobile app. To unlock the savings, customers must use the promo code pizza at checkout.
Dude, I'm watching the Rockies Giants brawl. It is hilarious. Look at Devers. Devers homers off Freeland, and Freeland took exception, and Devers freaked out.
Oh,
This is a real benches clear situation.
Yes.
Like this was, dude. You watched Devers pimp this thing.
Hold on, let me see this again.
That was it.
All right, so
Watch
Devers
pimp this
it's
thing.
a bomb.
He stays in
Kyle
the box
Freeland.
for forever.
Oh yeah, he
He's
pimped
still
it.
in the box.
He pimped that thing good.
And then Freeland's like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing? This is my John Boy breakdown." And Devers lost his mind.
Oh, F-bomb, shut the F up, shut the F up, F off, shut the F up. And then now everyone gets in a fight. Wow, cool.
He really
Nothing
just
like-
asked him to play first base.
Yeah.
But I'm bummed.
Cancun series playing out between the Giants and the Rockies tonight at Coors Field. All right. We're back tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you missed anything today, sportssd.com or iHeartRadio or iTunes or TuneIn Radio or Spotify. Back tomorrow at 2. Kevin Acee will be on the show. We'll recap the Padres and the Orioles series because they'll wrap it up tomorrow afternoon. Wrap-up show coming up tonight at 9:30 or whenever the game ends on YouTube. All right. For Brent and drafting Jim, good luck in your draft.
Drafts plural.
I'm John. Keep it here. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.